That's it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. And here we are. We're doing it. Yeah. So what where are you at on your project, Kate? I've been meaning to ask you about that. I haven't seen you in
Well,
I don't know. Got to
I
talk
mean,
to you
it's
in a
going
while.
pretty well. I've got somewhere like 16 and a half minutes of finished footage. And it's just, I mean, okay, here's the thing. I've been working on it for so long that the early scenes are no longer up to par as I would consider it. Like, I look at them and I go, oh my gosh, this is amateurish work. So, like, I'm trying to not let the perfect be the enemy of the good, but I have been going back and revising some of the ones that just really made me sit up and go, oh, that's bad. So
yeah, that's like when I write when I have a book I'm working on and I haven't touched it. Like sometimes I'll work on it for like months or something, and then I won't touch it for like 8 or 9 months, and then I go back on work on it for a couple. That's just how I do it. And I kind of like in between the interims of typing on it, I'm like recalling stories in my head and thinking about how my Nana told it and picturing it to me the way she described it so I can put it on paper, stuff like that. Or stories that my mom told, or stuff I saw when I was a kid, and I like really sit down and think about all of it, and I get it all straight in my head, and then I'll type down, I'll be like, do like 2 chapters, or something. So that's just how I do it.
I mean, it's kind of like imagine going and looking back at your first chapter and realizing that you've misspelled half the words and used semicolons where commas were more appropriate and that kind of thing. It's like, I mean, maybe they're not actually mistakes so much. People can still understand what you were getting at, but it's just not polished.
Right. And actually I forgot what the ending of that. That's where I was going with it is I have trouble writing. I have to take a break from it because I pour over every fucking sentence over and over every paragraph, and I like start reading it, and I start with the forward. I have the forward fucking memorized. I have read it so many fucking times. So I start with the forward and I read down and get to where I was before because I want to make sure it's all cohesive. So I reread it as I'm going along over and over again. So there's no way I'll repeat a story ever.
Yeah.
that is because the whole book's about my family and like my great grandparents coming over from Italy, and it tumbles into the whole story from there. So and there's flashbacks and all that kind of shit. And I have like, I don't know, I think I have like fucking maybe like 5 chapters right now or something. I'm not sure. But anyways, I mean, yeah, 5 chapters. But that's what I do to it is I go over it so much before I can go to the next paragraph. I'll start the next paragraph and I'll go, no, I need to go back and look at that. Or I'll do like 2 or 3 paragraphs and then I go, wait, and I read it all over again. So it takes forever for me to write.
And then when you're all done, you send it to a publisher and they look at it or read it or whatever the fuck they do. And they send you back a little note that says, hey, look, nobody cares.
Yeah, right. It's probably what's going to happen. But, I'm okay with that because I'm not rushing to write this anyway. I want to have it done by the time I'm 60 because I think there's maybe 80. I don't know. I might have to do like a part 2 because, my life is still going and my family's life is still going. So I can't end it yet, Like, how do you figure out where the end is? I want to end it before I die, and finish the book. But how do I end it when it's an ever-evolving story?
I can think of a few ways, but they mostly involve mass murder.
Not mass murder in my family to finish a book, Kate. Sorry.
Well,
now, my one brother...
I wasn't going to suggest it. I was just saying.
It wouldn't be mass at all. There would be one person and no Catholic Church involved, no mass. No mass. And that motherfucker, I would never just go up and shoot him. I would beat the shit out of him until he was within an inch of his life and then let him live.
No mass, but what about volume?
All of mine have died off, so I can write anything I want now.
Well, mine have not. So the people that are still alive, I'm going to change. I'm going to change their names so they can't say I can't do it because I'll just call it a work of fiction based on a true story. Because I know my brother Keel, he's a fucking little fuck. And if for some reason I publish that thing and let's say I get rich off it, that motherfucker's going to come after me and sue me. I just know he would. He
he
fucking
can't.
totally would.
He can't. It just
Oh, he
being
could if I
that-
put his name in it.
But no, putting somebody's name in your book does not guarantee them an income. It's just not the way it works. It's just
No,
not
I'm
the way
saying
it works.
he's going to
period.
sue me for defamation of character because I'm going to tell the truth about him.
Well, then it's not defamation, is it?
But he can call it that. He can still come after me for it.
Well,
And he'd
then
love some free money.
let him. You'll be spending a whole lot of money. A lawyer does not take a case like that for free, thinking they're going to win and get their percentage. A case like
That's
that,
true.
they want money up front.
That's true. He couldn't afford it anyways. You're right. He finally
So-
got his disability to go through. Poor guy with his bad knee. Because you can't work once you have a bad knee.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Really? Really?
He's so fucking. It's so stupid. I can't believe they gave it to him. I'm so fucking pissed off about it because he's a lazy fuck. He
You
has
mean I
not
could've had
held.
disability
he is-
35 years ago when I hurt my knee. Fuck.
They're just handing it out right now, Jenny. Anybody can get fucking disability. I could go get it for being ADHD, anxiety, depression, PTSD,
Well, it's
all
it's not
the
that-
fucking.
it's not that easy. I did try to
abbreviations.
get disability when I was a cardiac patient with a bad back and bad hips and couldn't walk and was wheelchair bound and a whole bunch of other things, and I still couldn't get it. I know a guy who lost his arm who couldn't get disability from the rest of the damage that also happened when he lost.
See, but that's what I'm saying. How the fuck did he
So,
get that shit?
He hired
That's
a
what
lawyer.
pisses me off about it.
He
There's
he
there's
took his
nothing
time
wrong
and
with his.
waited and waited and kept going back for appeal after appeal after appeal and finally did it. That's how that happens.
It's just bullshit, man. If
Yeah,
he was
it is.
working, he wouldn't have time to go appeal it.
When I worked on the psych unit, we had this one doctor, Dr. Bohr, who was just well known for giving we were all pretty sure that nobody knew for sure, but we were all pretty sure that he had something going with kickbacks. But he would get patients to get disability for depression, okay, when it was obvious that they had no such thing in their life as depression, and it would just be a matter of them sitting in the psych unit for 90 days, and taking no part in their therapy or care or improvement or socialization or anything. Of course, that was back in the 70s.
Right.
It was a lot easier then, but he did it over and over and over. I think I can think of 20 or 30 people who got disability.
Can I get disability for just being kind of awkward?
I'd give it to you, sure.
Right now, you can get disability for anything right now. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
give this one disability because they're really annoying and nobody wants to network with them.
Nobody wants to work with him. My brother had a job for about 2 months as a Lyft driver or Uber driver. And he was picking up people and working, and he went and this truck driver wanted to come over. And he was like staying in the guy's way instead of getting the fuck out of it. And the truck driver's trying to get behind him. Or first truck driver tries to get in front of him. And he speeds up. So then the truck driver tries to get behind him. By this time, he's being a fucking dick. And he slows down. And then the truck driver finally gets behind him. And they stop at a red light. And he gets out of the fucking truck and comes after the dude with like a big ass flashlight. Like pointing at the guy's eyes and shit. And yelling at him and shit. And so he gets up on the side of the guy's truck. And he's yelling at him. The truck driver goes to open the door. And then he said after that, somehow the truck driver tried to smash him in his own door in his vehicle. And I'm like, oh, so you ran back to your vehicle because you knew you were fucked. That's what that shit was. This is the brother I disowned. So the fucking truck driver, when he's getting in his fucking vehicle, slams his fucking leg, his bad knee in the door. And here we are. And he got lost his fucking job, and it was the first job he had in probably, I don't even know, besides babysitting for free. It's probably the first job he's had in like 10 fucking years or 15 years. I can't even remember the last time he worked. I literally cannot remember the last job he had. It's been so long. And I know everything about my entire family, what's going on with them at all times. because somebody knows, and we have to just talk to one person, and it just goes right around the fucking grapevine, right?
I wish I
So
had
he
a
had this
family
big
that was
thing, and
close like that.
he asked us all for money for lawyer fees, and we're like, dude, we know you went to attack that guy, and then you realized he was some big ass dude that was going to beat your fucking ass, and you tried to fucking run. We're not helping you. We all like shared out his GoFundMe on Facebook, but not one person in our family. I wouldn't look. Nobody donated. Is it? Yeah,
That's
fucking.
like the family. That's like the family.
Go
of
get a
that
goddamn job.
That's like the family of that Congressman Gussard, who all his siblings have gotten together and said, "Get this guy out of office. He is a terrible, horrible person."
That's exactly what it was like.
Don't let this guy be your congressperson. And they don't respond to the family. Says this guy is horrible. It's like, how can you? Don't you think they have it's not just a grudge. People don't do this just because they got a grudge going with somebody. It's, oh wow. And then he comes out with that video this week of people killing other congresspeople and stuff. Just a sick bastard.
Yeah, anyways, the moral of the story is that if you want to fucking improve shit, or you got something you need to take care of and you're able, go get a fucking job, because people aren't going to take care of your ass. It's the bottom line. If there's nothing wrong with you, what the fuck you gonna... Why are you fucking sitting on your ass and living off the system? And it pisses me off. And he is like the epitome of what pisses me off. He's fucking toxic, and he's a dickhead, and he has a girlfriend. They've been together for like, I don't even know, like 8 or 9 years now or something. It's been a long fucking time. And he has only worked that one Lyft or Uber job that I know of the whole time he's been with her. She's a waitress at IHOP, and she works double shifts to pay the fucking bills. And he sits there and lets her. And I have no respect for anybody that won't get up off their fucking ass and put their own damn hands in it and fucking contribute when they can. It's one thing if you're like truly fucking disabled. This motherfucker, right before all this happened, like it was like 5 years ago, we all went camping together. Me and him and my nephew, we all went camping together. He was fine. He was pulling big hunks of logs out of the woods. I didn't see his fucking knee slow him down. We all, I had beat up my knees when I was younger playing sports. And if I hit him on something, oh my God, it hurts for fucking weeks. And it hurts bad. And it makes me want to puke. Like, my knees are super fucking sensitive because I have beat them up so much. But I don't fucking claim Social Security and disability, and I can't work. I'm missing a kidney. Like, I got all kinds of shit. The bottom lobe of my lung is full of fucking scar tissue from it. Like, I can give you a list. I could probably get on disability like that if I really wanted to. But, fuck, I can also go to work and fucking earn my way. So, anyways. Yeah, Ox, you did get lucky. Ox said he got SSD for his knees. Took him 4 weeks. Yeah, that's fast, man. Hi, Stool.
Super Star Destroyer?
Hello.
Ox, let me ask you a question, Ox. Did you live in a rural area at the time that you applied for disability?
That's a good question. That has effect on it sometimes too.
Yeah, I mean, with a lot of the discussions I've had with Diana about stuff, like, I'm in California, and so much of my stuff is just flat out paid for, where she lives in, Pittsburgh, and, like, a lot of shit's still out of pocket for her. It's just a difference in how they treat the citizens, it seems.
Yep, I agree completely.
No, he said he's in city of Wilmington on the coast of North Carolina. He's not in a small town.
Interesting.
Been there, Ox, but I've been a lot of places, so I don't know if you want to make it act like it's cool or not. How you doing, Stool? What's going on, man?
I'm here under duress.
You're under duress.
Yes.
Yes, he's
Why are
wearing
you
a
under
dress.
Yes, it's my new thing. Okay.
He's under a dress.
It's my new pastime. I am indeed wearing a dress.
Well, it's a classic British thing. We know that.
It is a very British thing, yeah.
It is.
Mhm.
I
So I'm
look
just-
at
Unless you're
Queen.
Scottish, and then it's skirts.
there's a reason it's called a queen. You know, it's
Oh, and Ox said he had a lawyer too. Yeah, that always helps.
I was going to do some pew pew, but naughty Mr. B made me see a link in my secret place, so
pew pew.
I had
He
to
was
make.
gonna play
Yeah, your
Star
secret
Trek.
place was your Twitter DM.
He was gonna play Star Trek Online.
Yeah, so I had to make coffee and come and annoy you people.
So I have to say, Jenny, I'll read this out loud so you can hear it. Just my knees are so bad they couldn't deny it. I've put off replacement surgery for 6 years now. And I'm going to tell you, Ox, the way they do it these days, man, I know so many guys that are in like their 70s and 80s and 60s and they go in, and women too, and they go in and they get these fucking knee replacements and these hip replacements, and they are walking in a matter of like 5-6 fucking days. And they're like, why did I wait so long? I feel so good right now. It doesn't hurt anymore. It works properly.
Although
Dude, just get
consider
it
the
done, man.
possibility of like just having them lopped off and get those flippers, you know, the blades that they're, yeah, it's you know,
Oh, like the guys, yeah, like the disabled vets and shit. They run on those blades. Isn't that crazy?
yeah.
How the fuck do they? What kind of practice do you have to put in to walk on those fuckers? Never mind, run on them on a fucking track. Like,
Probably a fair amount.
yeah.
So it seems to me like they look. I have the wrong word for this. Not floppy. They look tensile. I don't fucking know. They look like you can bounce on them higher than you could without them. Like you could probably do super jumps with them. You know.
It actually looks like that they don't have any kind. They're rigid, and there is no flexibility to them. To me,
No, they're.
I think they have a slight amount of flexibility just for the impact, but I don't really think they're flexible. And yes, I get it, Kyle. I have a nice warm bed right there that's calling my name. I'm fucking tired.
They're made out of
Weak.
carbon fiber, and the amount of bend that they have and rebound is been calibrated to simulate the similarity of the human machine, what it can do.
Oh, okay. So it does have that little
It's in
bit
that
of give,
from
but
the
not like
performance envelope.
springy.
Well, I mean, I'd love to believe we could start doing some $6 million man crap, but oh well.
Well, organ replacement, things like that, is definitely something that they're working on.
Yeah, I meant
Oh,
extra
they've
jumpy
done so many
legs.
advancements in the last 20 years. It would blow your fucking mind. Last 10 years. I mean, they're like creating penises that can feel. And that's actually huge.
Ew.
Nerves are very, 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 very hard to get to
Yeah, but could you get one
heal
installed
and
on
bind
your
together
forehead?
and work. Huh?
But could you get one installed on your forehead?
Why would I want to get a dick on my forehead?
Stool already has one.
I was thinking
dear.
like 3.5 feet lower, 3 feet lower, whatever it is. But no, they have made a lot of advancements. There's so much more. Like, look what they did for Irish Swede with it, putting those valves in and fixing
That looks like
is
white
fucking
supremacy there, Stool. Don't do that.
Dude, that is seriously like what they did for him and the surgery they did. That is fucking impressive. It really is. What they can do these days. Hi, Dave. Kyle, you could icon and still come in. You lazy bastard. No, I'm kidding. Stay in bed. I'm only kidding. They cut my
I was
foot
on
open
camera
yesterday while I
earlier today.
watched. Ow, JR, why would you want to watch that, dude? Fuck that. Turn your head.
Yeah, kitty.
Oh, yeah. Ox said when the mothership returns, he's getting those cybernetic replacements. That's what he's waiting for.
Darn right.
I knew that you would not disagree with him.
Well, I am called Bionic Dance for a reason, you know.
Right. Kate's a little bit rock and roll and a little bit robotic.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, it is amusing. I mean,
Sure.
the name comes from Bionic 6, an 80s cartoon show, and one of the characters was known as Rock One, and her power was like sonic, and she had these like speakers that would come up off her shoulders and blast people with sonic blasts.
Really?
Yeah,
Cool. What was the name of that show?
Bionic 6.
Oh, I thought you said Sax, and I was like,
No.
they had a cartoon like that? I don't remember that shit.
But I mean, that is one of the ways I love to describe 80s popular music is synthesizers and saxophones.
That sounds such like a weird TV show.
It's a great show. It's just your basic 80s heroes that, are disguised as ordinary folks. It was like a lot of people would put it together on the same shelf next to Mask. Mobile Armored Strike
Mask,
Command.
like the original Mask, or like the Mask?
No, Mask is in Mobile Armored Strike Command. Matt Tracker and all of those guys.
Oh, never mind.
Never heard of that one.
I was thinking of a movie.
Oh God, no, not that. Although I almost went to that
That's a good
because it came
movie.
out around. Well, but it came out around the same time as the Mask cartoon show, and I was young enough that I was like, "Oh, they made a live action movie out of Mask. I want to see that." And my parents had to sit me down and go, "No, no, no, it's not about the cartoon show. It's something else entirely."
No. Yeah, you're talking about. Are you talking about the one Cher was in? Because that's what I'm talking about. Sam Elliott and Cher.
Eric Stoltz as the actual guy in the makeup.
Oh yeah. Yes.
That is the movie that I was hoping was a live action version
yeah,
of the cartoon show, but it wasn't, and I didn't see it. No, I like the cartoon show.
Yeah, it's a really good. It's deep as fuck, and it's sad, and it's sweet, and it's beautiful, and it's fucking horrible. That's what it is.
And
good.
it probably has
It's
no
very well
face-
written, and Cher did an amazing job as the drunk piece of shit mother trying to get her crap together. It's a
But
really
it
good movie.
probably has no spaceships or dragons or robots or lasers or aliens or elves or any of that stuff, does it?
No.
No, it's got
So
some blind
why
people
on
in it.
earth would I enjoy this?
For absolutely no reason, you probably wouldn't. I'm just trying to get the audience to watch it because it is a good movie. Male sex robots with unstoppable bionic penises. Bionic sex is a thing. Oh my god.
Just to point out, I can't click on that link. Also, I don't want to click on it. But that's from The Sun. And if you're not familiar, British newspaper, just...
The bionic sex.
The Sun is quality journalism. What are you talking about?
Fun thing is, Jenny, our quality British right-wing press have turned against Alexander Johnson in the past few days. So something
you say that
afoot.
you say that like you're implying that there's a left-wing press in the UK.
I know. I don't know why I did that.
Is Alexander Johnson related to Boris?
I'm a bit balanced. Alexander is Boris. That's his real name.
Oh, Jenny.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, like everything about him, it's all an act.
Mm.
But when those fuckers in our press turn against this shower,
Why would you take on the name of Boris when your name's Alexander?
then you know that something is really brewing.
Hmm.
So,
Boy, that's bizarre.
Yeah. America.
America. Team America. Fuck yeah.
Right.
his real name is Alexander De Pfeffel Johnson.
De Pfeffel?
Bethel.
Yeah, that's true.
We could
Not
not
much.
have timed that better. That was
The
exactly
hell is up with British names?
It's not British. He's not
It's not?
British. No, he's not British.
Oh, like I know anything about your piddly ass dictator.
He's. They said that about that other piddly ass dictator. Just be careful.
Hmm.
He was born in America, so thank you, and he's of Turkish descent.
Hmm.
So
You
there you go.
want to be born outside your country and lead your country? Wow,
Yeah,
that's a bizarre concept.
I know.
That's good
Yes.
advice, Ox. Thank you.
We're so weird.
Oh shit. Oh, you guys are too much.
I want to see that gauge sometime.
What, the too much gauge?
Yeah, I mean, I've got
I
my,
have-
my irony meter. It's on my videos from time to time, and I just want to see, like, if we are too much. When did we hit that point? Like what?
Oh, years ago for you, Sunshine.
Oh,
You were
well,
like, you were too much probably when you were 7 years old.
Yeah, I guess I was.
Sarcastic, funny, sarcastic.
Gee.
Hey, that's a compliment for me. I love sarcastic people. I do.
Yeah,
My
I
whole
know.
family is sarcastic. We're all, and that's why you say shit, and I just fucking die because I totally hear what you're like. I get it, you know.
Well, you should
A
hear
lot
me
of people
without
don't
a
get my
filter.
sense of humor. So. Huh?
You should hear me without a filter. I mean, seriously, there is stuff I just plain don't say.
Well, I think that all of us do that. We're both ADD. I know you do that. We all have shit that goes through our head that goes, no, we're not going to say that. Not this time.
Yeah. And
Not
every
this
now and
year's.
then one
Yeah.
of them escapes, and it just doesn't go well, does it?
I know. No, it never does. You're always in trouble. You're
Mm.
always in trouble. Yep. It's absolutely the truth.
I applied my.
The thing is, I mean, it'd be so much easier if when you have ADD or ADHD or whatever the fuck, if you were like, I don't know, deformed or had a limp or a lisp or something, so people would know it. So it's not fucking invisible, you know?
Oh, if bionic sex is going to be a thing, is there going to be a movie called The 6 Million Orgasm Man?
What
Thank
makes
you
you
for
think
that,
there
Dave.
isn't?
Yeah, right.
What makes you think even with help a man could have an orgasm 6 million times? Or twice?
Look, Ox said, JR, don't click on anything. Your wife wouldn't understand. He said, I'll just tell her the dog did it.
Mm.
What kind of, you'd have to be looking at doggy porn. And if you're doing that, JR, please just do not tell me, because right now I love you to death. I don't want to ruin that.
Recently, like, I was sitting down with some friends and they put on that like CGI Addams Family movie, and my favorite part, it was right at the beginning, is like they're introducing all the characters, and Thing, you know, the disembodied hand Thing, like Morticia calls him over to her and he slams close the laptop just as you see he's looking at feet, at foot porn. And that absolutely slayed me. I was like, oh, wow.
Foot porn. That's hilarious. I mean, I guess we all want what we don't have, right? I mean,
guess.
is that like a white dude like me going after like a black woman? You know, hey,
I
how you
guess.
doing? Other end of the spectrum.
There's some things I don't have I definitely don't want.
Okay.
Here.
Like someone who's a country music fan. Oh, and another goddamn crackhead, but I definitely don't want one of those.
Oh God, that's right. You did date some crackhead, didn't you?
I did.
And you were like,
okay, what the hell is up with me? Why the hell am I so attracted to trouble? Like, I am like, what the hell is wrong with me that I keep being attracted to these hard rock cases? I guess.
You need a little flair now.
You know what I need to do? I need to find like a rich lesbian cougar.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. You could probably do that really easily. Let me tell you. There's plenty of older lesbians that are lonely right now that have money.
Well, you know, if I knew where the fuck to find them. Like, seriously, I don't know where to go to meet anybody except like a bar or a club, and I'm not sure I want to be with anyone I meet at one of those places.
Isn't that the bitch about it, though? Okay, think about it, right? How do you find a date, right? Like, how do you do that? You grocery store? You can't go to the bar. Definitely. Can't go to the bar. You can't go to church because they're fucking crazy too. So,
I mean, if you're stool, you just go down to the sty and pick out a nice fat one. But you know, it's like,
how you doing there, Bessie?
That was just way too easy.
That was easy. I can't stand foot porn. Thank you, Dave.
Nah.
Thank you, Dave.
You know, I don't know what it is, but my kitty Xander likes to lick my feet. I have a video of it, of him licking my feet. It's on my channel.
Oh my God, you should put that on OnlyFans.
Really?
Oh
Oh,
my God,
yes.
yeah, you'd get rich off of that. A cat
get-
that licks your feet?
You become very
Fuck
wealthy.
yeah, I'm telling you, somebody's into it. Somebody
I'll
is.
have to give that a whirl. I actually haven't used OnlyFans yet, so
Ben got an OnlyFans for the Snappy gloves, and he's got like all kinds of fucking followers, and like it was like 2 weeks.
that
Are
is
you
weird. Okay.
It's
Hang
true.
on a minute. I want commission because I'm
He's
pretty
making-
sure I suggested that to him.
He's making money off that.
I don't know when you start making money, but he's got a lot of followers already. I never asked him about
Damn.
that. I don't know.
No,
Like the last
OnlyFans is
two
the
he
one where
did,
people.
he squirted mayonnaise on his hand and like went like this with the mayonnaise, and he got more followers.
Jesus, I could think of so much mundane but kind of twisted shit to put up on a place like that.
I'm serious. You should do it. Do it.
Maybe
Put,
I'll
like,
churn
Here you
butter.
go. Put something like catnip or peanut butter. Put like peanut butter between your toes. Let him lick it off. You'll fucking, oh my God, you probably have.
I don't even
like
need that.
when
He
you're rich.
will just slurp my toes like
I know.
randomly.
You would make money
Got,
from
like
that.
the nibble on my fingers. He goes like this, and then he sucks on the end of them like it's like mom's nipple. And I'm like, dude, what are
Okay.
you doing right now?
I saw a
like a lot.
documentary
You just
about
gotta
this once. It wasn't
Weird.
about OnlyFans, it was some other service. And it was basically this man and this woman, perfectly normal couple. And their evenings, in the evening, they would just sit there watching TV. And every now and again, she'd get a little clinky plonky noise on her laptop, which means somebody wants to watch her doing her thing, whatever that thing might be, show her ankle or whatever. And so she goes into performance mode, does that thing, and ka-ching, 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 make money from it.
Really?
Well,
yeah.
you know, I could definitely do with the extra dough. Maybe I'll look into this OnlyFans shit. This is the site where people just post porn, like amateur porn, right?
I
Yeah,
mean,
but
Or am I thinking of something
people
else?
are obsessed with all kinds of different stuff with the body that is kinky, but nothing obscene about it. You know, feet and
okay.
Oh,
hands and
I don't know.
Yeah, Jenny's
I'm
absolutely
sure
right.
There's people who are obsessed with, say, the back of the knee. You know,
Yeah, it's just people are.
Well-
She's right, and actually on Twitch, I actually was like, you ever hit the browse on Twitch and you're just scrolling, going, does anything look interesting? Not really.
I've
And there was
never
this
used
woman,
Twitch.
and it said something about ASMR, and I was like, that doesn't look like she's doing ASMR. So I had to click on it. Because she was live. So I go on there, and she's making out with a rubber thing that's over top of a microphone, and people are like sending her money and shit, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? And she recorded
That's
herself
wild.
earlier in a different outfit, and then she stands there and does it live, so it looks like there's two of her. Oh my God. The guys on there that are fucking going, you know, I'm about to get off right now, keep going. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. And I'm sitting there watching the chat, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? And they allow that on Twitch because she's not doing anything wrong.
Kate, get yourself some balloons.
You know what?
And
I actually did something like that. There is a video of that on my channel. Like, seriously, search like lesbian popping balloons. It's on there.
There's a place I used to work, and it involved people on the other end of a telephone. And there was a guy who used to phone in, and he wasn't phoning in for the correct purpose. He would just basically ask, if it was a female person who answered, he would just say, have you got any balloons? And he wanted to talk about balloons.
Huh. Okay.
okay. All right, bro.
And that was it? Just
That
there was
was-
nothing else weird about it?
He enjoyed it when the ladies talked about balloons.
Okay. But he didn't like ask where are you putting the balloon or anything, did he?
I don't think so, no. He just liked it when
Oh,
Okay.
Ple-
Well,
pleasant
you know,
conversation about balloons.
I guess whatever floats your ducky. I mean, all right. Like, seriously, there are a lot of weird, kinky things out there that people do where, honestly, they have no effect on my life whatsoever. So I figure, all right, that's what you're into.
Well, that's like, okay, so when I was younger, I used to, I was raised not like strict Catholic or anything, but we had like good, my mom placed in good family values and we went to church. She didn't talk about church really besides, that. And, damn it. Fucking ADD.
I know.
I looked at the chat. I lost it.
Well,
that was like one time every show.
There was something I wanted to sort of mention, and then I lost it. So, oh well.
Ox, I'm going to get myself some
my friend, my ADHD friend.
Right.
Is this why
I remember what it was, though. I remember.
Go.
Yeah, well, okay. So I was having this sort of conversation / debate / argument with someone who is like very sex positive and who wants the world to be very sex positive. And I was having reservations because there are just certain things I really don't want to have to look at when I'm walking around out in public. And I think I figured out the source of my objection, and it's this, is that most of the, let's call it sex positive stuff I've seen has been very sort of Las Vegas strip club about it. It's been very, let's see how dirty we can get. It's pretty rare for me to see any like public, tasteful, like erotica that's not like girls gone wild, how nasty can you be stuff. You know what I mean? Like it seems to only go in one direction. I mean, maybe it's just a function of me being demisexual where I don't really feel lust unless there's love there. But honestly, I don't want to really look at like, well, I don't really have words to describe it, but
yeah, no, I get it. The bottom line is I'm cool with people like doing whatever they want. As long as you're not hurting anybody, it's consensual. It's not about children, elderly, you're not abusing elderly or whatever, because people are fucked up. As long as it's all good, consensual, happy shit, I don't care what people fucking do. And I don't know why other people do. I'm like, it's not my bedroom,
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, it isn't my bedroom. That's the thing. The sex positive person I was talking to just basically wanted people fucking on park benches.
Yeah, see, no. No, there's time and place for that shit. This is what I think they should do. I think every city should go back to having like the red light district. And they can tax the sex workers and stuff. They can they'll have insurance to take care of themselves in case something happens. They'll have like, workers' compensation if they get like beat up on the job, like all this shit, because, I wouldn't want to do that fucking job. I mean, fuck that shit. But that's how they make money. That's what they do. And I'm okay with that. So let them tax them. Let them pay into fucking taxes. Let them pay. Why not take that money and put it into a little bit into the system and protect them at the same time?
Yeah, so definitely in favor of legalized prostitution. Definitely.
Yeah. So I think that every city should do like the red light district area. Have it heavily patrolled by cops. No kids are allowed in that area. You wouldn't even, if cops are patrolling, they see a little kid, they're gonna be like, dude, you can get the fuck out of here. You're not supposed to be here, And it'll keep all of the sex workers safe. They won't have to worry about if they're gonna walk out of work and get fucking attacked or raped or whatever. Because there's gonna be that fucking that police presence,
Well, I'm not sure
if
that I'm
did that, the cities would benefit, the police officers would benefit, the fucking sex workers, everybody would benefit. Except for the pimps that beat them, but fuck those guys.
I'm not sure I'm necessarily in favor of like street prostitution. Like I heard about in Australia, they had like a brothel system, and everyone was like regularly medically screened and all that stuff. And you could see those medical records, like with whoever it was that you were going to be with, and there were bouncers and all kinds of stuff. It was like if a whorehouse can be regulated,
right? Yeah.
Like, so it was definitely like when I heard about that system, I was like, yes, I'm in favor of that for sure. It's like even if a brothel that doesn't suck.
Yeah, I mean, they could even do like the because you could have the businesses downstairs and then upstairs. Maybe some of them live there and they can pay rent for that spot, and they don't even have to fucking leave where they can just be there. They don't have to worry about driving around, people seeing them somewhere else, attacking them, blah blah blah. You know, like I think there's so many ideas out there to help so many people that it's just ridiculous that all this shit's going on. They shouldn't be getting fucking killed and raped, because the bottom line is, in the society we are in and the way sexuality is in the society, they are necessary. Some people just need to go get their rocks off and have them take a fucking break, you know? That's fine, you know? I just think we should keep them safer, and the city would benefit from it at the same time. And I have ideas about like vets and stuff too. It's ridiculous what's going on.
It's
Sorry,
just,
my
it
brain
seems
is trying to
ridiculous.
hold me back from making a veterinarian's joke.
It seems ridiculous that prostitution, which has been around forever, only gets tacit approval, that everybody, you know, knows it's there, but let's pretend it's not, you know, by making it illegal and stuff like that. It's going to happen whether there are laws against it or not. So
Well, yeah.
to make it safer for everyone involved, it should be regulated. It should be certainly not criminally prosecuted. You know?
Well, that argument hasn't worked with birth control or abortion. I mean,
no, it hasn't, and that's the problem with this culture, is that it's so completely hung up on religion. We'll probably never have a sense of normalcy.
Sorry. No, I know, you're right. I 100% agree with you.
yeah, I mean, I have to wonder what this world would be like if we didn't have so much body shame, like just built into our society, at least here in the West.
Yeah. Thank you, Ox. Bionic socks. That's that freaking $50 flip-flop right there. I think that's what $40. Some chick was showing her feet in flip-flops, and the guy said, I want to buy one. And she said $40, and he sent her $40. She got it on PayPal, and she mailed him the flip-flop because of her feet. Her feet were in them. So buy those at Dollar Tree for $1. Come out $78 a head. Put them on and have the cat lick your feet, and then sell the flip-flops.
That might work.
Why not? Fuck it. Oh, I know what I was saying now earlier. I was really against that kind of stuff when I was younger, because I was raised in a more sheltered area. We didn't have that shit. I was out in the middle of the fucking country, and there was like a bunch of white people and some KKK. Although we didn't fall in line with that, just to be clear. But they were out there, and oh my god, how many times am I going to forget what the fuck I was saying? That's ridiculous. Oh, and then I met this chick, James, she's my next door neighbor, right? I was renting a room off of somebody, and I was trying to get back on my feet and shit, and it was right after I was homeless. And so I met the lady next door, and she had 2 little kids and a boyfriend, right? And her name was Pam, and we got to be pretty good friends. And then eventually, you know, we'd sit outside and talk. And eventually she was like, why don't you come in? I'll make some coffee. I'm like, okay, cool, you know. So we hung out for, I don't know, probably like a month. And finally she told me what she did for a living, because that topic came up. She asked me what I did. And she said, well, I'm a stripper. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, why? And I said, I mean, that doesn't necessarily have a good reputation. And she goes, oh, I see. Okay, you're one of those. I said, no. I said, well, yeah, but I mean, why do you do it? She said, I'm legally blind and I can't pay for my kids any other way. She said, I can't get a job as a cashier. I can't get a job stocking shelves. Nothing, because she can't see very far away. She can only see like 5 or 6 feet in front of her, and everything else is blur. And she was born with like these fucked up eyes, and they tried surgery and nothing ever fucking worked on them. And I was like, damn. And I realized, like, I stepped back for a second and thought about who I had learned who she was. she was not a slutty, horrible person. You know, she had a good heart. She was a good mom. She had like divorced the kid's dad because he was a fucking piece of shit, and you know, was dating this new guy years and years later, and she had just been a single mom for years, and these kids were 6 and 8. You know, so I was respecting her because of that, and I thought, you know, maybe that's not so bad. And I said, so what's your philosophy on it? What's your morality behind that? And she said, the bottom line is this: those guys are going to pay somebody to do this. And I have no way of making good money. Even if I did get a shit job, I would make half of what I needed to survive. And I can make good money doing this. And if somebody's going to pay for it, I'm going to fucking put my hand out and take it. And I said, I like you now. That was it. And now, and ever since then, and I was 19 years old. No, I was 20 years old. Ever since then I'm like, okay, I get it now. You know, she taught me a lot of lessons.
So, you know, I've only like had one stripper experience ever. An interesting side effect I've noticed of being a lesbian is that your friends invite you to the bachelor and bachelorette parties when they're getting married. Like you end up going to both, you know? And at the guy's stripper or the guy's bachelor party, there was this stripper and she stripped, you know, like strippers do. And then I went to karaoke at a local lesbian bar, and guess who got up on stage? And it turns out she strips because she likes it. She just enjoys it.
Oh,
why not?
Maybe I'll just leave that fucker down there. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to leave him down there.
Mm-hmm.
Are you dressed?
I had a friend.
What's up, Wildheart?
I had a friend
hold
who was
on.
a nurse, and she used to strip because she said, "Well, I can use the extra cash, but mostly I just really like it." So that's not surprising at all.
Yeah, some people do like it. They like the fact that the people are attracted to them and are aroused by them, and that's cool. I mean, that's mutual. Cool. You can make money doing it. Everybody's having fun.
I just have a low taste for unsettling people. It's one of the reasons why I like to rollerblade in parades wearing nothing but paint and blades.
Yeah. Rock on. Ox.
I mean, not that I'm alone doing it.
Ox, I can't imagine you being a stripper, buddy. He said, I tried the stripper thing, fell off the stage, though, forgot I can't dance. Oh, that's good shit, Ox. Always good for a laugh, buddy. Always good for a laugh.
Just a good old boy. Never been no room.
Oh, no, he's going to start singing the damn Dukes of Hazzard theme song. Well, you got to do it like this if you're going to do it. Just some good old boys. Never made in no home.
Yeah, I haven't seen that since the 70s. Like, seriously, I have not seen that since the 70s. And, like, I was 5
for the back.
No, sorry, 4 for almost none of them. And almost not, whatever, I'll just be over here.
What?
Or 5 for almost none of them. I was 5 for, oh, never mind, I'll just be over here. I'm tired. See, that's the problem with having a December birthday, a mid-December birthday, is calculating how old you were in a certain year gets difficult.
I'm a Gemini. We don't believe in all that stuff.
I'm a Sagittarius. I'm a bit of a horse's ass.
Yeah, Ox, you're right. Nobody will show it now. It's racist. Yep. A lot of almost all those shows were back then. That's just, see, that's the thing. I don't think they should get rid of everything. They put it in a certain place. You slap a warning label around it and say, warning, this is fucking horrible. And I think they should use it as a teaching tool about how open people were about racism and how everybody thought it was funny and it was always a joke. It's not fucking funny. So if you show that to the generations now, they're going to be like, oh my God, that's fucking horrible. That should be how it is. It just like all the statues. I don't think they should throw them out and destroy them. I think every city should put them in a walled area with a warning sign. This is horrible. or however they want to put it, and the kids should be allowed to go in there with their parents. They should look at the history and
Yeah.
get sick to their stomachs and realize how fucked it is, because if you take away history, we will repeat it. You
Stick
have
them
to
in a
just-
museum. They belong in a
Yeah,
museum.
exactly. That's
Not
what I'm
out in
saying.
the open air where everyone can
Agreed.
gawk at them, but stick them in a museum.
There's
Agreed.
a
That's what I'm saying. The
problem with
bigger
the-
pieces, put them in a walled area like they would a memorial. But be honest, this motherfucker killed all these people because he was a dickhead.
Yeah.
That's what I want done.
There's a problem with the TV thing, though, because they tried that with one of our beloved 1970s British comedy shows, and the BBC stuck a bit of a warning at the beginning.
I'll scan it.
Possibly. Oh,
Yeah.
are we allowed to show that anymore? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Probably not. And of course, all the racist Daily Mail readers went batshit about it. They weren't happy.
Whew. Sorry, I got riled up there for a minute. That shit pisses me off. I fucking hate. Ugh. I seriously, like, my heart's pounding. I'm pissed just thinking about all that shit. Just thinking about how people treat each other, and it just makes me fucking sick.
Okay, but it's okay
Absolutely.
that I'm just not the biggest fan of Quebecers, though, right?
Hello.
I don't know shit about Quebec, so okay.
Okay, cool. Nah, they're just kind of
Jenny.
annoying and they speak French. Also, Shatner's from there, so I'm already not happy with them.
Okay, touche.
It's like the slavery museums. You go to the slavery museum and you find out how racist and what your family actually did in the past. I think it helps you. It teaches you what not to do.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the point.
yeah.
If you erase it,
Yeah.
you
It's
can't
like I say,
erase
it's,
history. It's part of history.
yeah.
We
it's
are
better
doomed.
than-
If you do not know it, you are doomed to repeat it. Because
Yeah.
how would you ever know it's wrong?
it's
How would you
better
ever
than-
know that what a horrible
Yeah.
outcome it can be?
Yeah.
For the people that you're doing it to and the people that are doing it. Like
Yeah.
there's lots of lessons there. B, look up Tom McDonald, white boy, when you get time. He says a lot on the race thing. Isn't that a comedian? Or what is he? Is he a comedian, or does he talk on a show or
I
something?
wonder if that might just be the guy with the big old beard and the trucker hat who looks like a redneck but talks sense. Maybe I'm thinking of a different guy. I'm just guessing based on context.
If you erase part of history, you will have
Oh.
people questioning themselves and thinking that it's the Mandela effect.
Oh god.
He's a rapper. Oh yeah, that's the guy you sent me that video about. That's the Tom McDonald you're talking about. That was actually really fucking good. That shit was the fucking bomb, man. It
You
was
know,
great. And when I
I've
first
just-
looked at him, I was like, what the fuck is he? Are those little braids? What does he have going on there?
I've discovered
I don't
that I like rap when it's accompanied by more melodic music behind it rather than just beat and bass.
Okay.
That's when I enjoy rap. I'm not a huge fan when it's just,
Yeah, okay, yeah. You want some content to the background music.
something I could hum or
Yeah.
whistle. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's rap with the silent C in front of it.
No, I'm not thinking of Norm MacDonald, Aunt Jur. I'm like, well, Ox sent me a fucking video of the guy, didn't you, Ox? Isn't that on my Twitter? Or did you just share it one time? What was that?
Trey Crowder. Let me look at a picture and see if that's really who I mean. Because I mean, I only sort of a little bit know him by extension because some friends like him. And no, that's not who I mean at all. No, the guy I'm actually thinking of is a YouTuber. But this guy looks really familiar. He been on like TV shows or some shit? And I'm also getting echo off someone.
Might be me. I'll mute.
Oh, Ox, I thought you
All
said
right.
it on Twitter, but bruh, no?
Yeah.
See if I can find it. I can share it and show it. But no, it's just he does a rap about how the world is and with racism and LGBT. He hits on every fucking subject and just says you're fucking stupid. Basically, is what he's saying. He's a total advocate for everybody, and it's fucking amazing because he just was like, this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong, and he just says everything all in one fucking song. He hits like almost every fucking topic.
Purple,
he's right.
Purple, did you just say you're going to
Oh yeah,
lay down a beat?
Post that for me. Yeah, it's on.
No,
Alex is gonna
said
post the
she
video.
needs someone to lay down a beat.
I just can't believe she said lay down a beat. That's like what the young people say, perps.
The young people. I wonder
Lay
who's
down
the
a beat
youngest,
while
who's
I
the
read
youngest
Dr.
person in this
Seuss.
video right now.
That's already a rap lyric.
That's
Lay down a beat while I read Dr. Seuss.
Vesta wants to know if it's Beau of the Fifth Column.
Beau of the what?
Yeah, would that be
Beau?
Beau of the Fifth Column you were thinking of at Bionic?
I don't know. Let's go to the image
you, Alex.
searchery. Who are you off the fifth columnar? Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy. I haven't really watched him much, but apparently a lot of my friends are big old fans. That is one heck of a mountain man beard on the guy.
No Lives Matter. Yeah, thank you, Ox. That's what it's called. No Lives Matter. And the link is up there, Kate, if you want to check out that video. It's actually pretty cool.
I'd like to think my life matters a little bit.
Well, that's the point of it.
I
is
know, I know.
Everybody acts like nobody's lives matter, and it's the opposite, right?
I was just being goofy. Or at least attempting to. I can see by the look on Stool's face that I did not succeed.
You can't win, you know this. Just don't even try.
I win every time I get your goat.
You've never seen my goat.
Let's not bring goats into this.
Yeah, he thinks it's a goat. It's more like a hamster. Also, I don't know if you're like jiggling your leg or something, Stool, but it really looks like you're jacking off.
Oh,
Yeah, the camera's shaking a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, she was right. It did look like that.
I need a wee. Sorry.
I'd like to apologise to Stool. I think the last time you came on my channel, I fell asleep.
You certainly
apologise.
did, you bad boy.
I apologise profusely for that. Yeah.
It's okay because while you were asleep, we were all laughing our cocks off at you
Yeah.
and calling you really bad names.
I'm not watching it back, but I can believe
It's just
that.
a shame no one was there to like draw on his face with marker.
Yeah. The weird thing is, if I reach out with a marker pen, I could actually do that. He's so near to me, it still spooks me out. If I knock on this wall behind me, he'll turn around and go, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Oh, you guys. Stool is literally the potato man, says Ox. And Kitty said, just say literally a lot to annoy Stool. And then I literally read that from the literal chat, and I literally repeated it to you.
Yeah.
Kitty's
Whoa,
literally a
that
boss.
just literally blew my mind.
Yeah. With it,
Like a hooker with a degree in psychology.
you literally got his goat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Literally,
God.
literally.
Kitty, glad you literally made it. Judy said literally. And
This is just not fair at all.
You're right, it's not. That's
no
the
longer, guys. So
that's
that
the
towards
fun.
yet. There's literally getting meta up in here. Kitty, you want to come in? If you're up for it, I can give you a link.
I don't think I've actually seen Kitty
Thought I
in quite
sent you
some
one on-
time.
Did I not send you one on Twitter? I usually do. But here. If you wanna
I've-
come in.
You know, you were talking about the filters earlier, Mr. B and Kate.
Mhm.
I literally don't remember that, but go on.
You sometimes have
Literally
to
have no idea what
apply
he's
the.
talking about.
Your memories are really bad. You have to apply the filter before you say something bad.
Oh, the filter, the mental filter.
The
before-
filter.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, that.
I-
Okay, sure.
When I joined here,
Yes, I
and
have
you know when you see the StreamYard thing and choose name, whatever. And I chose a name, and then I thought, oh, I better not, because Mr. B will punch me in the potato. She really will.
Literally.
Potatoes, right? Barely have sprouts.
Purple. I put one in our DM for you today. I remember doing it, and it said it sent. So I don't know. Did you lose our DM? Maybe it's all the way down at the bottom of your page. Oh, Ox said he thought you meant a literal filter. Like literally.
Oh, I literally didn't.
Oh, good. Yay. I got a purple.
All right, purple.
Wait. It gets better. And I got an Ollie. And where's my...
Hey,
oh,
hey,
wait a
hey.
minute. There's nobody. There's a blank spot. Where are you, kitty? Oh, okay. Give me a few. Touche.
I'm over the
Hi, Purple.
Yeah,
How are you?
I don't know what you must think my account is on Twitter because you keep thinking you sent me the link. And in our DM, there's one there from Monday. There isn't one there from today.
Huh.
I never even checked Twitter.
Really? Hold on.
You know what's funny is that literally actually used to mean figuratively, and then it literally changed to mean the literally that we know literally to mean today. Because if you
Oh,
look
what?
at the root of the word, it's clearly literal, literary. It was meant to describe something that had happened in fiction, was literal and
I did not
literally.
know that.
But then
That's
it changed somehow. There was like a Southern strategy shift kind of thing.
Shit. I did miss you, Purple. I apologize.
Yeah, you missed
You were
me
right
too.
at the
But
bottom of the people I sent it to.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Literally
That
the
was my
bottom.
bad. Well,
So what's
you
going
know.
on, guys?
Well, I was just wondering
was-
if there was some
I
group
admit
that
I'm
you were
wrong.
posting them to that I wasn't part of.
Mm-mm. No, I quit doing that because there's like one person in each group. I just
Ah,
don't
okay.
care that
Yeah,
much
I know what
for.
that one's like.
So I don't want to like invite them in and then be like, oh, you came in and all you're going to talk about is this. Go ahead.
Yep. Okay, I gotcha.
What's that about disc golf?
So no, I quit putting it in the groups. So I'd rather send it to everybody that's in the group and skip that one person and just take the time to do it.
I kind of felt like that went right over everybody's head.
I
Hey,
kind of,
Maynard,
I was
I
with
didn't
you.
hear you.
Heard
I
it. I,
was with
just
you.
didn't think it was all that funny.
I
What
got
did
you.
you say, Ollie?
Well, you said you don't want those type of people to come in here that always just want to talk about that one topic. And I immediately said, you mean like disc golf?
Look, you know what? You know what happens to people who talk about disc golf all night, right?
Hey, whoa!
I consider it the crowning achievement of my generation that we killed disco and then they tried to bring it back again.
I think he said disc
Maynard.
golf, though.
I did. I said golf, disc golf.
Disc
Oh,
golf.
I
sorry.
would never disc go.
No, please don't.
Right, well, disco is an
Why?
abomination onto this world, but still, that's not what was said.
You know what I heard this week? ABBA's coming out with a new album.
I saw that. It was on like Twitter or
Wow.
something.
They
Yeah,
That
already
is
have.
not the
it's,
Swedish band I like.
They already have. What is this? Have the clocks changed again?
You tagged me in a post, ain't you? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you. I
Disco
agree.
is evil.
Disco,
Dis-
disco might be evil.
Disco
Dis-
says
dis-
Sonic, yeah.
Disc golf is bliss.
I actually don't really like. I've played Ultimate, but I've never played disc golf.
It was
Same
a book
rules as
by Terry
golf.
Pratchett.
Yeah, it's the same rules as golf, but you're throwing a disc into a basket instead.
Okay,
Oh.
it's like I knew disc golf had been a thing again, like back in the 70s, and I hadn't heard anybody mention it for like 50 years. And now, like in the last year, there's like dozens of people talking about it.
Oh no,
Did-
it's been getting bigger and bigger for years and years.
That's just weird.
Disc golf is a bad walk ruin. Is a good walk ruined. So
I mean, I've got this really good curve shot that I would use in Ultimate all the time. It was like a Hail Mary pass, except it worked. Like I could time that arc like you wouldn't believe. I'd be pretty good at disc golf, I think.
What are all these words that you're all using? I don't understand any of them.
Yeah, so
That's
there's
because
just
you're
like in
old
golf-
school.
Just like in golf, you have a putter, a driver,
Oh.
what is
You
it?
have mid ranges.
What's the other
That's what they
terms?
call it. The irons are mid ranges.
I
Yeah.
don't understand golf, but I do have an interesting golf fact for you.
go.
If it's the
Um,
one about how it's flogged backwards, we know.
No. My fellow townsmate here will find this
The link
interesting.
above if you want to come in.
This place is so ultra safe that I had to do a thing in the room next door yesterday. That sounded weird and kinky, but whilst doing it, I found a golf club cunningly hidden under the bed. Just one single golf club. It was obviously a weapon because
I
they
was
can be,
going to say, yeah.
they can be
I would
quite
keep that
lethal,
hidden
can't
under
they?
your bed in case somebody pushes your door open in the night.
Look,
That's a
if
good
you,
idea,
Like
actually.
you can do not do
Huh.
that. You can kill somebody with a golf club. Literally, do not.
I would have expected a cricket bat.
literally,
Literally.
literally.
No, I
Like,
would.
yeah,
I would.
I literally would have expected a cricket bat.
I would never hit anybody on the head with anything because, why would you? But I just found it interesting that it was cunningly hidden in case of emergency. So,
Well, you don't need to hit them on the head. You can break their kneecap, and then you can wait while the police get there.
yeah. So that'll be a month-long wait then.
Live out in the boonies, do we?
What? What
No,
are
I
these
think it just
words?
needs a response time.
Boonies, Hicksville, middle of nowhere.
Oh, right. No, I live in a throbbing metropolis.
Down the holler,
Yep. Probably.
Yeah.
out in the woods. Country
Y'all
living.
going down to the creek
I-
now, huh?
I don't think any American
I
metropolis
got
is
a crick
throb.
in my neck, and that's a crick. No,
Hmm.
I'm sorry, Purple. Go ahead.
No, I don't think any American metropolis is throb. I've never heard that descriptor used.
And describing Bolton as throbbing is just wrong.
Well, you didn't hear it throbbing last night, my friend.
yeah, I say that back. Quite right.
Fuck me. I mentioned it on the tweeters, Purple, in the place that nobody goes to. And because it was driving me insane, there was oh, shit.
Literally.
Shit.
Bees infected us.
There was one guy kicking off. Let's say downstairs, drunk as a bastard, and he was wanting to fight everybody, and it was getting really
Bastard get
violent.
drunk that much.
It was getting really violent, and I'm loud, and he was talking about knives and all kinds of shit.
Quit shaking your legs till you're
Well, I
doing
saw
it
you
again.
say about the guy getting drunk and wanting to fight everyone, but I think I lost the conversation after that.
There was no further conversation because I just put my head under the pillow. It was bad, and it went on for about an hour. Eventually, it ended, and at the end of my little tweety message thing, I said, in the olden days, there would have been police to deal with this, but not anymore.
Yep. 6 hours for an ambulance.
Is that because of Brexit too? Now the police can't get into the country?
No,
Yeah.
that's because of the evil Canucks in charge of us. We have no police, basically.
Judy's over here rapping. My name is Junie. I'm not from the boony. Although some may say I'm a little loony.
Is that
Yep,
laying
I'm
down
white.
the
That's
beats?
why I don't rap. I'm very white. I know. Yeah, it's okay. I'm okay with it.
I don't
And
rap
I'm-
either. It's a
I'm
hassle.
better-
I just get a bunch of the gift bags.
I'm just better at puns, than rapping. It's
You're
like
really not. You're
I am
really
too.
not.
So I'm better than you'll ever be. and You know it.
I do like a good pun.
Yeah. I mean, there's no such thing, but that's why they're great.
A massive, massive punt. Sorry.
I
The
don't know.
definition of a good pun is a short chuckle followed by a long groan.
Yeah.
Oh. On Juror, I'm gonna tell you that I had an amazing fucking weekend. Candles out back on the deck, checking out the stars by a table. I streamed on Friday night on Beers and Bros, and she came over and hung out and talked to everybody and said hi, and they had a conversation about medical stuff, and then she like went off and did her own thing, and it was fucking great. And I got homemade meals the whole time, and because she loves to cook, and I was spoiled rotten. That's what happened. I got spoiled rotten for the first time ever in my life. It was fucking amazing. Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, for the first time, that's kind of sad that it took this long.
Oh, hello, Kitty. Oh, wow.
Oh,
I
you
didn't.
mean
Kitty.
I did not
You mean-
mean that.
Hi, Kitty. Perps, did you mean for her and I to get together?
Well, for it to be the first time in your life that anybody spoiled you.
Oh, yeah, well, I always did the spoiling.
Same.
So, yeah. No, she's fucking incredible. I don't know. All the boxes checked. All of them, plus extra boxes I didn't know existed. They're checked too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow,
I don't
Kitty,
even.
your hair's coming
I
back so
just can't
fast.
I got mad the other day at work and I was like, wait a minute. I love my job. I'm in love. My life is good. What the fuck am I mad right now? I literally need to shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. There's no reason for you to be fucking irritated or crabby. Ox said, hey, Kitty, you literally look good tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's one of those days not wearing any makeup. I wasn't even wearing a bra. Had to put one on for the stream. So that was like, give me a few. Had to put my green.
Like, give me a few. I gotta go put these
on a
puppies
bra.
away.
You know? Yeah, honestly, like I took a shower last night, and I didn't bother getting dressed today. So you know.
I get dressed.
We all
I'm
have those
surprised
Otherwise,
by
I'm
how
always
fast your
naked.
hair's coming back.
I almost made the mistake of not wearing a bra. Luckily, I remembered just in time.
Hey, I mean, at
Kitty,
least this one's red and cute.
Kitty, I have to
Fucking
tell you, though,
expensive.
just so you know, you're beautiful and you don't need the makeup. I mean, it does enhance your looks and it does have a good statement to it, and you do it well, but it's not necessary. So
When it
Yeah,
comes
we've
down
been
to it, I
telling
wear
you that
makeup
since
for
day
me.
one.
I wear makeup for me, not for others.
there you go, and that's fine. Yeah,
But,
but no, you do
yeah.
it well though.
Mhm.
For all the different ways you do it, it's like artist level.
I mean, it's
So
another way to
it's
express
pretty
yourself.
impressive. I would not
Hair
have that kind
color.
of face.
Yeah, I look ridiculous in makeup. I've never had it done well. I always come out looking like a clown or something else. I don't know.
You know what I look like every time? I look like a dude that has makeup on. That's what
Oh,
I fucking look like every time in my life. I mean, you know, I didn't look horrible, but I still look like a dude with makeup.
So I saw when I was falling asleep last night, I was just scrolling through TikTok, while I waited for my meds to kick in to knock me out. And I saw this one TikTok, and I don't know. I went to bed like with a smile on my face from it, and it was a person showing pictures of them like in a bikini and saying, people always told me that, I had that my body looked like a dude's, like that I had a masculine body. And then it was like, I forgot to thank them, and you see them post transition and they were fucking hot. So I'm like, dude, this dude. And I was like, okay, so that put a smile on my face before I went to bed.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's fucking great. No, it was actually pretty cold out at night. The second night wasn't as bad. The first night was pretty cold, but we just like grabbed a blanket and we just scooted our chairs together and wrapped the blanket around us and hung out
Yep.
anyways because it was
Good
beautiful.
for cuddling.
Yes, always good for cuddling. Absolutely, perps. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not so good cuddling in the summer when you're all hot and sticky.
Yeah, no, and I am very like I think it runs through my family. Like we exude heat all the time. So normally when it's
Oh.
summertime, I get, ooh, don't touch me. You're hot.
So I'm the one whose feet are like
I don't mean-
ice. You know, I'm the one who like my veins are tiny. I don't heat myself. That's why Vermont winters were fucking miserable, right? So like every time I've had like a girlfriend where we were sleeping together, the complaints were always that my feet were really tiny, like icy, just fucking cold. Just saying.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
a heat leech.
I'm the heat sink.
Yep.
I'm of the heat sink variety. I am always cold and just draw the warmth from my partners.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm a heat leech. All my partners have said that I just suck all the heat out of them.
See, that's what everybody I've ever been with has been like, if it's wintertime, can you warm up my side of the bed? So I lay there for like 4 or 5 minutes while they're like brushing their teeth and stuff. Get up, go brush my teeth, get on my cold side. Start all over again.
Well,
But I
I
have
have
it like
noticed.
in 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It's like a little hot cocoon in there.
No, I have noticed that like it hasn't affected my limbs, but since I started smoking the weed, well, vaping the weed, my core is warmer than it's ever been. And I mean, it
Really?
makes sense. I read up on it a bit, and it turns out that marijuana will rev your metabolism a bit, right? So I guess I'm just like blast furnacing. And that also probably explains why like a lot of stoners are super thin, is just because like sure you get the munchies, but your metabolism is going berserk.
Yeah, it will if you smoke
Yeah.
all day. Back when I
So-
used to smoke, I smoked all day for a little bit over a year because I had my own painting company. When I moved to West Virginia to help out my nephews and shit. And I just smoked pot all day long. And I'm telling you, in that year, I lost 54 pounds. It was right after I came back from
Wait
quit
a
driving
second
truck
now.
over the road. And I was 229 pounds when I got out of that truck.
Jeepers.
And I gained a little bit more weight. And then finally, I fucking quit the job I was at, went to West Virginia. Oh, I started painting for this guy that didn't piss test, and I just smoked fucking pot. And then I opened up my own business, and he gave me some more side work. I just smoked pot all day, 54 pounds in 1 year. It was like 11
Question.
months.
Is there a type of smoking pot that doesn't involve smoking pot all day?
Yeah, it's
Well,
called when you have to
yes.
work at a serious job and you just can't do it all day.
I work at
Or
a
if you're
serious job.
into edibles.
I work at a real serious job. So I don't know.
Oh, edibles
it's
is
just
a
a state.
fairly visible delivery method. Just know that they will sneak up on you.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
If you like edibles, you probably like this. Where is it? There. If you like edibles, you should try that. Ooh,
Oh, a tincture that does nothing
Yeah.
for me.
no, I find
Like
it's the
seriously,
same.
I've downed an entire thing of tincture in one sitting, and it did nothing. Nothing.
I wonder
Weird,
if it
huh?
just wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Because I find
So-
that's almost the same buzz as edibles, almost exactly.
You
the
know what's
same.
funny with me
But you got to do a
is
lot of it.
I can smoke all the time and I can stay level and clear headed and shit. But if I smoke the fucking the vape kind, it kicks my fucking ass.
And the vape is the only one I really get any kind of effect from at all.
Oxy's comment is funny. Still, her eyes
Oh.
are up higher.
Somebody else is down there. Hold on. Jenny's
We
back.
got more.
COVID still sucks.
Ox, you're a bad boy.
It does.
That right there is my brand and strain.
Hey, Jenny.
We had a minor family crisis.
Never heard
I
of
had to respond to.
That's the vape I'm smoking right now.
Wedding cake.
Well,
Huh. I mean, I've had that. I don't remember it being remarkable, but you know, everyone has what they like and what gets them high the best. So
it's
yeah, I
the first
can't
time I'm
fault someone
trying
for
it.
preferring something I'm just not into. So.
It's supposed to be around 24, 25% THC, and then I got this one too, the King Kush. It's supposed to be 28% THC. So
That's
both have
really
levels.
low. This
28?
stuff I'm doing right now is like in the 90s.
No, there's no
Yes.
weed that's in the 90s.
Yeah.
Where are you buying that at illegally?
Yeah.
No, it's delivered to me by the dispensary.
Yeah, you might be
Jesus.
confusing the number. We're
I'm
talking
such
the
a
percentage
stoner.
of
I have
THC.
my stoner supplies delivered by the dispensary.
I'm just saying. All right, hold on. Where the hell did my webcam go? Okay, here it is.
Ox, I want some.
All right.
I want some with 24
Can't make that out.
mg to start.
I'm zooming in. Give
Not-
me a second.
Not
Look at
pot,
that.
just
91 point something percent THC.
91.92.
Oh, that's no, I'm talking the strain of weed, not the concentrate.
Oh.
I'm talking
Oh,
the actual strain of the weed is 28% THC.
I want cinnamon toast crunch. 24 mg. I need to go
box
to
doesn't
the
have
fucking.
percentages like
Well,
that.
and I'm
You can go
finding
to
I
vape shop on
respond so
Friday.
much better to
Smoking.
indica than I ever do to sativa.
Yeah, this stuff says it's 93 to 98% THC.
Yeah, smoking it never really, well, actually very rarely got me high, but I think I'd like to try the teacher.
And this other stuff is the same, 93 to 98% THC. But I was just talking about the base bud itself. That way you know the indica, sativa properties of it and how it's going to hit you. So,
Ox, just to be clear, I'm not talking about anything with THC in it. I just want to make sure everybody knows that. I'm
Okay,
talking about
Ollie,
just nicotine. Just nicotine.
Ollie, it sounds like you know a lot about the different varieties and that, huh?
a little bit. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I know a little bit about anything that I've been smoking, I've looked into to see what it is. Right? So,
You know, that is one expression that's been rendered toothless. You know, it used to be if someone's being an idiot, hey, what are you smoking? You know, and now it's like, well, I can tell you.
Can I ask why weed
exactly.
is okay? Can I ask why weed is okay, but alcohol is frowned upon? I meet a lot of people who take weed, and but yeah, you drink all day, and that's bad.
Alcohol is way more accepted than weed still.
Yeah.
And yet
So I
so
don't
much
know why you're
worse for
saying
you.
I
it
still
is
can't
so much
legally
worse.
buy weed here, but there's plenty of liquor stores.
Yeah.
I like to call them stupor markets.
Yeah. Hey, where I was living up in Michigan, literally every place sold booze. The gas stations sold not just beer, but hard liquor. You could go to the gas station and get a bottle of vodka or whiskey.
Isn't that normal for gas stations?
Not bland. Yeah, I know
Well,
you
in the
meant
town I
bland,
was
Ox.
in, it was just every place had it because it's all anybody had to do. So,
Oh,
Can you make 80-20?
Well, when
Mine's
I first,
a minimum of 80-20.
when I first moved into the neighborhood that like my parents lived in until recently, like it was a very working class neighborhood, and our neighbors had a lot of kids, and these were like high school age guys and slightly beyond, but none of them were going to college. And they spent a lot of time on tailgate parties, yelling and screaming at each other and beating each other up. And I am a just barely 5-year-old getting to witness this for the first time after being raised by hippies on a fucking commune. So that was interesting. And I guess my point is that beer can kind of be, well, beer makes you beat people up. Weed makes you just sort of relax.
That's
true.
the reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, Ox, I've tried Delta 8, and yeah, we got some Delta 8 gummies, and those didn't really seem to do much either. At best, it gave me a light buzz, like having 3 or 4 shots of whiskey.
Yeah, if you get the right strain, and it does take a while to find your strain, it can be not quite, but awfully similar to an acid trip.
Cool,
Hey,
Ben.
I'm just
Have a good
desperate
night.
to find
Get some
something that'll make
sleep.
me sleep.
Happy studying.
Oh, indica will do that.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben.
Wish you well, brother.
CBD or melatonin totally could as well. So
Yeah,
You know.
Ben's just leaning too heavily on that student part and doing all his homework.
yeah, what are you, freaking geek over there? You nerd. Like
I
we
mean-
all aren't, right?
Honestly, I'm not
Right.
really one to talk. When I was in high school, I was the weird bitch that when I got home from school, I had a backpack that was packed, that it had cigarettes, a blanket, a small pillow, a book, my CD player, a little portable ashtray, and I would go climb up onto the roof and like read. And for really sunny days, I had a little umbrella in there
Yeah.
too to like block the sun. And the stuff I was reading was things like Mosby's Medical Encyclopedia or Grey's Anatomy. Like I was that weirdo.
Well, I grew up in the
That was
pre-internet
lost.
age.
That's awesome.
I grew up in the pre-internet age when I had to ride my bicycle to the public library. And
Yeah,
I didn't just take a book bag. I took a backpack, and I mean one of the full size with the aluminum frame, because that was the amount of books I was carrying back.
Mhm.
Well, maybe it's just an ADD, ADHD, autism thing. I don't know. But I always felt uncomfortable with libraries because I hated the obligation of bringing the book back. So I spent a lot of time in used bookstores and new bookstores just browsing the sci-fi fantasy section and immersing myself in someone else's imagination, you know.
Of course,
the
it was the
advantage of
sci-fi
libraries
fantasy
is-
section.
Oh, well, you know me.
The advantage of the libraries is I never had money to spend, so
Well, that was one thing about being raised by hippies is like I had an uphill battle getting like computer games and video games and all kinds of like, movies and stuff. But oh boy, if I said the word books and they took me to a store that sold prose, like, you know, PROSE prose. And like I could get just about any book off the shelf because to them, books were like the epitome of how to spend your time if you weren't exercising. Like if you're doing something that's not physical, read a book. So I exploited that to my own purposes to get a lot of fiction.
What Ox was saying, yeah, like I'm still a little bit pissed about the vape mail ban essentially that they did, where they've instituted a bunch of new rules, and a lot of the companies I used to source my materials from have gone out of business because of it.
Yeah.
Because USPS will not deliver vape products anymore. UPS, FedEx, none of them would, as of
Seriously?
April. So I got in just under the wire, and I ordered like 3 or 4 years worth of nicotine concentrate that are sitting in my freezer because I make my own juice. So and I'm not worried about the other stuff. It was the nic I was worried about because VG, PG flavorings, those are used for other things. So they're not specifically for vaping. So I
Vaping, right.
wasn't as worried about that. But the nicotine is actually really hard to find nowadays.
What
Yeah,
does just a vial of nicotine look like? Like what color is it?
Clear?
Probably yellow.
Oh,
Well, it
Oh,
depends on what you
somehow-
have it in.
somehow I was
Um,
picturing brown. I don't know. Maybe
No,
it's
it's
because of
clear.
tobacco.
It's basically I get mine in a PG base because my juice is 80% VG, 20% PG. So I have to use less PG by just getting it in a PG base. Plus, it's easier to work with because VG has a more corn syrupy type of consistency, whereas PG is basically like water. It
Right.
basically acts and moves like water. So it's basically just nicotine laced water. Now you wouldn't want to touch what I have because it's 100 milligram concentration and that will knock you on your ass. Getting a drop of it on your skin will give you an instant fucking headache and
Wow.
like tinnitus and
Yeah.
everything. So like I have like gloves, and when I mix up my juice, I use lab safety protocols because I mean it's not going to kill me if I get a drop of it on my skin, but it absorbs through your skin and you're not going to have a good time of it. So, you know, better to just be safe when dealing with it. And so I have a smaller bottle that I will siphon some of the big bottle off for mixing up a batch. That way I'm not lugging out the big thing from the freezer back and forth, you know, all the time.
So
is it
you,
a
you,
common?
you realize that like this whole time my brain has been composing jokes about PG, PG-13, R, and NC-17, right? The whole time you were talking, and I just couldn't make the joke work, but I had to say it anyway because, God damn it, it was clogging my head and it had to come out.
You
Don't
had to
worry,
suffer.
my
We
ADD brain gets that. Sometimes you
The
just
thing
have to
with the
spit it
shipping
out.
restrictions that they really torqued down on was because anything that has the tiniest trace of THC, shipping it across state lines becomes a federal offense.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
So this is specifically for nicotine products and vaping products. Like
Yeah.
they actually
Well,
instituted.
never mind, Ox. I don't want to make
rules.
it in trouble.
They actually instituted rules that went into effect in April of this year, and it was called the vape mail ban. And basically, it's a lot more difficult to source the things for making your own nicotine juice. It's got nothing to do with THC. It was specifically, they basically put vaping under the purview of ATF, and ATF and the government were just like, all right, fuck small businesses. We don't care how many hundreds or thousands we put out of business. We are anti-vaping, anti-nicotine, because think of the children.
Well, you know, one
Even
thing
though-
that's great is that it won't be a federal crime to get weed because so many of the companies that make it are in California.
Yeah.
And the thing that bugs me the most about it is they bring out we don't want candy flavors for vaping because think of the children.
Mhm.
Now, I only vape fruity flavors. Like this is a mix of pineapple, strawberry, watermelon, and I think
I hate the fruit flavors.
coconut. But regardless, that's all I vape is fruity flavors. But you don't see the think of the children crowd complaining about the fact that there's birthday cake and churro vodka. Like they're not saying, oh, that's targeting children. Well, if the vodka's not targeting children, then why the fuck do you think this is?
Right.
Yeah, and how
right.
many fruit flavored alcohol products can you find?
A
Yeah.
lot.
Oh, so
there's
very
all kinds
many.
of them. I love orange and any citrus alcohol.
Oh,
Yeah.
I adore citrus. Oh yeah, like I've said it many times. Just try to keep me away from some pulp-free orange juice.
Although they came out with a black cherry flavor of my whiskey, and that just didn't work right.
Oh. Yeah.
I've
See, I like
added
really
orange
pulpy
juice to some of my Asian stir fries, and it really works.
Pot's legal here, and they've outlawed all the flavored papers and stuff like that here, so you can't get any of that anymore.
Yeah.
It's
That's
funny, like when I was going
ridiculous.
to goth clubs, every time, like I had these friends, Chris and Crystal, and they would always let me bum a clove, and then they banned sweetening cloves, and they were disgusting. Like I wouldn't even inhale it, like into my lungs. I'd taste it and then exhale, because I liked the taste of the sweetened clove. But then
Have
when
you
I got rid
tried-
of the sweetener, it was just nasty.
Have you tried the Darjum Black?
That's what they removed the sweetener from.
Oh, because I've smoked one of those recently. I thought they were pretty good.
Well, and I'm also a super taster, so
Yeah, I am
maybe it's just okay.
But I guess I
well,
wasn't looking for the sweetness in it, though.
Well, and it may just be that I encountered the sweet version first, and so have some nostalgia for it as well. I mean, that could be
Yeah,
a
that's
factor.
true. Oh, yeah,
But
absolutely.
I just know that my experience was disappointment. Which I found disappointing. Okay, crickets. I'll just be over here.
I was waiting to see if anybody else is going to laugh. And then Giddy
I
started
chuckled.
laughing.
I
She
was just muted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep myself muted while I'm not talking because I cough too much.
I'm legally not allowed to laugh at Kate's jokes.
I didn't think you were capable of laughter.
I was trying to get the body to line up with bionic socks with Stuhl's upper body, but it didn't work really.
That's really weird.
Me too,
Don't do
Oz.
that.
Me too.
Oh, so the bag that I was sewing during Gigi's stream, I've got it right here.
Oh,
So
cool.
my green
Hold on,
screen's
let
like
me put your
messing
big
up a
screen. I
little
can't
bit.
see it.
Yeah, that was always a problem for me when I was still using the green screen and trying to do like unboxings, is that like
Oh, that's
the
cool.
packaging would inevitably have green on it somewhere and you couldn't see jack.
It's a satin lining. This was so annoying to work with. Like it, I said if I go to make another one with a satin lining, someone like hit me in the head. But then I went and I cut out more because I'm gonna do another one because I'm a fucking masochist apparently. But yeah, it's like a little galaxy print.
That's pretty cool.
So
That's
hard
really
working.
nice.
It does look really cool with the green screen. But
Yeah.
No, I
like,
just
you can
mean it
see
looks
the
really
parts that are
cool.
black.
Yeah, looks good.
Kitty, what was so hard working with it?
It
Well, satin's real slippery. It doesn't stay where you pin it.
also, even with it being pinked, it frays really, really bad. So not only is it super, super slippery, but I have like it looks like a fucking fairy fucking murder scene over here with just like it's basically just like cotton candy over here from working with it before. Because I'd cut it with my rotary cutter and then was working with it and I was like, I'll pink it after I've sewn it. Nay, that was not a good call. So I pinked it first this time and it's not fraying as bad, but it just frays off into itty bitty teeny tiny little flossy strands. So
That doesn't sound fun at all.
it is not fun.
I can think of
Not
some
even
uses
a
for
little.
that material, but yeah.
If I
But it
did
is-
that, Sammy would obligingly hover around and eat all of the little strands.
Yeah, my cat would do the same thing.
He
My
has
boy.
a fascination for eating any colorful things he finds in the carpet. So
Like here, this is what my desk is covered in. It looks almost like cat hair, but no, this is just strands of the fabric, where you can see that.
well, Sloth Girl does all the knitting and crocheting, so I bring him up there, and there's like little half-inch scraps of yarn all over the place, and he's got to clean them up, and then I have to clean up when he spits up on the rug a couple hours later.
Kitty, do you think it would help to serge the pieces you're working with right away?
I mean, the thing is sending one piece of satin through a serger it's doable, but again, it's super slippery. Like honestly, just pinking the edges before you start working with it is, kind of the best bet. And then I have fray check for after everything's sewn in place, which it's basically like fabric super glue. But it's not meant to hold things together. Not like you don't glue two things together. It's meant for the edge where it basically soaks into those fibers and keeps them from fraying. But I had to get Michael to help me with the math because it makes my head hurt even when it's like simple math because I have dyscalculia. So I was just like, hey, how would I go about increasing this by 50% and 75%? So I gave him the measurements and he's like, all right, that would be this, that would be that. I'm like, thank you. So this one's going to be bigger. So it'll be a little bit easier working with slightly bigger. Because the bigger of a box bag, the easier it is to do. Going smaller than this, I probably would have just given up and said, fuck this, fuck everything.
Ox wants to know if it'll melt like nylon.
Well, it is. It's costume satin, so I mean, it is a synthetic
Yes.
fabric. So the answer is yes.
It would just go poof.
But yeah, it's super super shiny and soft though.
Well, actually, in some applications on polyfabrics, that can be useful. Because if you very quickly heat the edge, you can just kind of melt the edge a little bit and then it stops fraying.
Yeah, I have not tried melting the edge of this one yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the satin. That might ignite too easily.
That's my.
Hey, you just put it out real quick.
It also would depend on what you're making. I can
So I'm
imagine
making
Well, yeah,
a bag.
you make out a set and you don't want to do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to have burn holes through a wedding dress.
You need torch.
Well, I
Torch
suppose
like
that
this.
depends.
I want one of those. I will name
I've
him
had a mini
Bernie.
one like that.
I will name him Bernie.
You can get one of those mini torches for like $6 at Harbor Freight.
I don't have a Harbor
They
Freight
work
here.
great. They're butane and they're refillable.
I
That
I
one
would
just
kind
said
of caution
butane.
you about the Harbor Freight ones though, because I've had 2 of those that started leaking.
Really? I've never had a problem with them. My brother's on like his 8th one because he broke them.
I had 2
These
pencil
past them or
torches.
whatever.
Well, I had 1 pencil torch from Harbor Freight that it started leaking, and I went and exchanged it, and I used the second one for about 6 or 8 months, and that one started leaking.
Huh. Interesting. I guess it's the roll of the dice then, sounds like to me.
I mean, anything that you get inexpensive is going to be a mass manufactured thing from, some sweatshop in China or Thailand or what have you.
Just at this point, for something like a torch that has the potential of doing very bad things in your hand, I think I would prefer to go with one that's got a bit more of a name brand to it.
Made in China. Made in China.
Yeah, most of them are. No, I do
you
buy a
said
lot
it
of
wrong.
stuff
It's
from Harbor Freight,
China.
though.
China.
I feel like I'm missing a reference.
Trump.
Trump
That's
says
the way
it.
Trump says China.
China.
Oh,
Not China. China. It's G-H-I.
Well, that's because he's got pussy on the brain constantly.
yeah. I actually saw remarkably little of him speaking during his presidency. I saw a lot of criticism and a few clips. Very little of him
he
just actually like saying anything for
Never
long.
shut up.
Oh,
You
his
shut
He
handlers
down.
can't
didn't-
say anything for long. He can barely read the fucking teleprompter. He's a fucking idiot.
That was the
Yeah.
problem. His handlers tried to limit him speaking because he would never stay on script. He'd go rambling off on something else, and they'd have no idea what kind of damage control they'd have to do the next day.
He's like, our military invaded the airport in 1862, and everybody's like,
That I remember that. That was so
Remember-
wacky.
Windmills cause cancer.
Yeah. Remember when he took the
the
test?
funniest shit.
When
Yeah.
he took the test? Man, woman, camera, grabber, buy the.
Well, just legitimately, the way he
I complained of her, and she gave me that exact same test. And if it took more than 5 minutes to go through the first time, it is
Yeah.
such a low level test, and he's bragging about it. It was pretty funny.
Yeah,
I
it's
would
just a
probably
basic
fail it, though.
cognitive test. What's Kitty?
I would probably fail. My memory is shit.
Yeah, mine too, but seizures caused it.
Like, they thought I might have had ADHD when I was a kid, but like I never actually went in to get like diagnosed. So
I
Who
did
knows?
get diagnosed, but I don't trust it anymore, and I want to get checked and see if it's actually autism.
ADHD wasn't a thing when I was a kid, really. So no, I never got tested.
Hmm.
I didn't get tested until recently, honestly, and she didn't even do a full test. She just said, "Stop. You're just so ADD. I can fill this out for you. I see this every day."
They thought I might have had ADD, but I could never sit still long enough to take the test.
That's like Ellen DeGeneres says in one of her stand-ups. I know I have ADD because I never had the focus and attention span to go down and get tested to see if I'm ADHD.
Yeah.
Or ADD.
No, it's
Which
not
is it?
actually part of my diagnosis,
both
but I'm
two
like
different
borderline for ADHD.
I scored
Yeah.
20. I scored 25 out of 26 on an online autism quiz, not a test, but an online autism quiz. I got 25 out of 26, which was really annoying.
Yep.
I got something like that, except I think it went up into the 30s, and it was like just over the center line into on the spectrum,
Yeah.
like just barely. And I was like, okay, that's annoying because if it was more definitive, I could at least like go to my doctor and say, test my ass. As it is, I'm not sure if I'd be wasting people's time.
Well, that's actually how I got my diagnosis. Was I took an online quiz for autism. Actually, at the time, it was Asperger's syndrome back in the 90s.
Right.
Yes.
And I took the test for it, and I ranked 88%. It says you're likely to be autistic, and so then I took that to my therapist, and he looked at the results and said, "Yeah, we probably should have seen that." And I showed it to everyone who had known me more than 2 years, and the universal response was, "That explains a lot."
Yeah, well, I mean, there are a lot of symptoms that I looked up where I was like, holy crap, I do that. Like, I never really knew, like, never noticed until I noticed it, that I have a hard time making eye contact during conversations. And, like, when I catch myself, I realize, oh my gosh, Kate, you're looking at the table. I try to pick a dramatic moment in whatever I'm saying to sweep my eyes back up and look at people, but it is very, even right now, it's hard to look at you people in the screen while I'm talking. It's just, it's weird.
Well, it's one of the things that, I didn't get, but really put people off was when I really need to focus on what somebody was saying, I'll take off my glasses and close my eyes because I need to reduce some of the other sensory input so that I can concentrate on what they're telling me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, you know what's actually kind of strange, though, is if I'm reading, it's exactly the opposite. I need noise to fill the empty spaces so I can concentrate on what I'm reading. Because if I don't have music on while I'm reading, it feels like someone constantly tapping me right in the middle of my forehead. It's like my ears are screaming for attention. But there are times where, like, I'm reading and I'm reading and I'm reading, and all of a sudden my favorite song is ending, and I'm like, oh shit, I missed it.
Yeah.
Because it helped me concentrate so well.
Yeah,
you know what they do, Kate, in the schools these days, and they started this years ago when my son was in high school. Every time they took a test, they got to go sit off by themselves and listen to music. And it was him and 2 or 3 other kids that were ADD in the class. And because the teachers realized when they took their music away, they would fail the test. But if they let them listen to music, or the school system realized, if they let them listen to music, their scores like way up here.
Now, see, I wish I'd had that as a kid because I tried
too.
to listen to my Walkman during like reading time, and the teachers would flip out that I was doing it, and I was like, "What?" And they're like, "You can't concentrate," and I'm like, "Yes, I fucking can."
Yeah, but that's the thing is they didn't understand, and we weren't even allowed to bring that shit into school. Like you couldn't bring a Walkman into school when I was a kid. Fuck no. And all they did was beat our ass. You acted out, you got paddle, you get spanked. That's how it was.
Well, 80s kid in Vermont, so
they had no clue what the fuck it was. I was just a bad kid. I was hyperactive, and I needed discipline, and I needed my ass spanked, and that's all I got. All I got over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I was just bored.
They didn't even have the word for it when I was in school, so they just labeled me as a chronic underachiever. Because they knew I was smart, but I couldn't follow the instructions.
Well, I would overachieve in very specific areas and underachieve in everything else.
Well, see, and that was the thing. It's like I'd have classes that I was like on the verge of flunking, and then they'd give me a term paper, and I'd get like an A- on the term paper. So.
Oh, one thing that my math teachers would bitch about is they would always want me to show my work. They wanted me to write out each and every step, including the ones I did in my head. And I'm like, no, that's just so much extra work that I don't need to do.
Yeah, it was the same way with me in grade school. Now I suck at higher math. Anything up like algebra up, I suck at it. I do.
Jenny, what the hell are you doing?
When I'm afraid
annoying
to
everybody.
ask, I was trying to ignore it. So
Not me.
I have
So
to.
when
I
I
have to
was
go.
in grade school, I
Hey,
would just
be
look at
quiet.
it and figure it out and just write it down. And they were like, "Show your work," and I'm like, "But I didn't work it out." What do you mean, show my work? You know, but show your work.
Be
But it's up here.
quiet. Be
What?
quiet. Gee,
What?
I have to go. It's time to go
Well,
back
you have to
bed.
go.
Okay.
So we'll
Well,
see
you get
guys
some
later.
rest. Good night.
Okay.
Have fun. Sleep well.
Love you.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. No.
When I was in my freshman year of high school, I was taking honors biology, but they dropped me back into remedial algebra because I couldn't show my work.
Mm.
Because it's like I can do it in my head, but when I start trying to write it down, the dyslexia kicks in and I get the numbers all screwed up and in the wrong sequence.
Well, and I know the teachers just wanted to make sure I wasn't cheating or using a calculator, which I guess is another form of cheating or whatever it was. But you know, I'm like, some people just learn different. Some people calculate differently. It's they wanted so much to have a one size fits all education.
Yeah, they've got a specific structure they expect everyone to
Exactly.
follow.
I just almost had a poo in my pants because I checked my phone.
Thanks for that, Stu.
No worries,
You're a
mate.
very good boy for not doing it this time.
This is why you're underneath me, Wild Heart.
Yeah.
I just checked my phone and got really worried because there are 2 messages from my bank via the banking app, which I try to avoid looking at because what's the fucking point? There's nothing in it. and so I just had to Google what a redress payment is. And I've been given some money. Wild, I don't know if you know about this. I just Googled it.
Yeah.
Have you heard about it?
I've not known. I'm just checking my bank app now. Have I been given money?
Are you with my bank?
No. RBS.
Why did you say no? How much do you know about me?
Too much, Stoll. Way
too much. I will knock on this fucking wall and annoy you. So apparently, my bank, which I'm not going to mention because Wild will stalk me even more, are refunding customers for bank charges that they should not have made.
Oh, PPI.
No, for just bank charges when you've gone overdrawn or something and they've charged you.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
it
so
looks
you get
like
some of your money back?
It looks like they've given me some money.
Muslim?
That sounds like a community.
I mean,
chess
it was
code
your
from
money.
Well, you know how to find my PayPal, so.
Yeah, if you got too much, let me know, bro. Let me know.
Too much. Let's just put it this way. There's a reason why I'm hiding at the moment.
I don't know.
Where are
it's
you going to
funny,
get dragged off
I
the
think-
Squid Game?
Dragged off the what?
Squid Game?
The what?
Some people
Squid
don't know
Game?
what Squid Game is, including me.
Yeah, I've only
Oh, that
barely know
thing.
what it
No, I
is.
I've
get
heard
the
of it, but I don't
reference.
know what it is.
I do
Okay,
get the reference,
So
yeah.
people should at least know the reference. You know, maybe
Yeah,
not
I've
know
heard of it.
what happens, but
I understand. I'm not old like him.
I actually just finished watching it, and I actually posted my hot takes about it on TikTok, where I'm just like, hey, this person that everybody hates, yeah, no, like I'm with them. You're playing a death game. You should be playing to win. It's not the time for sunshine and rainbows and Care Bear stares and being nice. Like, I mean, just saying.
Sportsmanship goes out the window in a death match.
Exactly. I'm like, granted, there are things that person did that I would not have done in a death game because they were just like a little bit extra. But again, it's a death game, and most of the decisions that they made, I can't say that I would make different ones in the same situation. If my life is on the line, you better believe I will yeet any motherfuckers under the bus in order to save my ass. Like, you know.
It's funny you
Just
mention.
saying.
Okay, there's this place that does like escape rooms near. Excuse me. Wow, that weed went down the wrong pipe. Okay, there's a place nearby that does escape rooms, and they wanted to do like a sort of the floor is lava kind of thing, but with special effects, right? And so they invited a bunch of us from our board game night to go sort of play test their floor is lava thing. And at one point, as they start turning off the lower lights to let you know that there's like less room to stand on, right? So I ended up just like on this tiny little island with this one chick, and eventually I realized it's me or her, so I just hip checked her off the island into the lava, and to this day I don't think she's forgiven me.
I mean, like, I would have
So-
probably tried to hip check you first, but I wouldn't hate you for it if you did it, because again, survival. Like,
Yeah, well, I just did a risk assessment and realized I needed to be alone.
Well, there you go. Sometimes that happens.
like I think the thing that like depressed me most about Squid Game like happens in the first episode. Just the fact that these people go and they don't know it's a death game at first, and they're given the option to go home, and like 90 something % of them come back knowing that if they fail they will die because they are that desperate, because their lives are that shit. And like I think that was the part that like out of all of it there were some really depressing things, and like I'm not going to get into any like spoilers or anything like that, but I mean there's a lot of like shitty things that happen in that show, but I think the part that really like disturbed me the most was that so many were willing to go back, and the fact that I know people in real life that would do it. They would go and risk their lives for the chance to get out from under the crushing
The thumb
boot
they're
of
yeah, they
capitalism
exist under.
that they're under right now. I know people that would do it, and most of them would die, and it's sad.
It is
But then,
sad
what
that
can I
anybody's
say?
that desperate.
I'm an unapologetic socialist. So, like, I think that there should be a baseline below which you cannot fall, and that a government has a responsibility to provide the basic necessities for its citizens. And that is, healthcare, education, food, housing. Like,
Yep.
those things everybody should have as a fundamental right in a country that is wealthy enough to afford it, especially in the
agree.
United
I
States.
agree.
I mean,
we should
I
sort of ramp down that military just a snitch.
right? If we dial that down, we could dial the safety net programs up, and we would have a much happier and more productive society.
Yeah,
I mean,
couldn't
and
we
But
move
then,
with
but then the insurance companies wouldn't make money off of that, Kitty.
Well, yeah, but
They
that's
ru-
kind
they
of
run
part
the
of the
medical.
problem.
They run medical. They
Yeah.
run
Oh,
it all.
absolutely.
I want
It
to
is
know
the
how
insurance companies are the ones who
like,
have prevented the universal health care.
I want to know how the people who run the military-industrial complex can go to bed at night with a clear conscience, knowing that their business is killing people.
They're
Like
so
that is
happy.
that is their racket, and that they try to drum up wars just to sell more. Like, how do you go to bed at night knowing how much blood is on your hands? I have to wonder.
No
You
idea.
don't care.
I think they
I have no
convinced
idea.
themselves that they're making the weapons to defend something.
Holy crap.
Yes.
I don't even think it's that. I literally think, and they found this like in like business, like CEOs tend to have a higher instance of psychopathy and sociopathy. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be like American Psycho. They're not going to go around slicing people up for looking them the wrong way. But it doesn't change the fact of the matter that they lack empathy and compassion.
Well, and I think
at
that's-
higher rates.
That's kind of something with the capitalist system too, is that it's only the people who lack empathy in the first place that are going to rise to those high positions.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Because you
guys,
got to
I
stab a
hate-
bunch of people in the back to get there.
I'm going to be saying goodnight, guys. So have a good one. I'm falling
Have
asleep
fun.
here.
Good
sorry.
night, Allie.
Nice to meet you.
All right. Cheers.
Night, Ollie.
So I like actually thinking about it. One of the only even half meritocracies left seems to be the entertainment industry. I mean, sure, there's a lot of manufactured stuff out there, but if someone comes up with something super original that goes viral, it can really, really, really catch on. And so there is a certain amount of potential merit making actually upward mobility. It's like one of the only places I can think of where that really is a thing, except maybe like inventing a new cryptocurrency.
I mean, honestly, there were a few like success stories of people like, I mean, think, you know, MySpace, Facebook, you know, like where there was an untapped market, you know, they started with something new, but really most everything's been done now. And in Hollywood, there's a lot of nepotism. So even then, there's that thumb on the scale, you know, it's not a true meritocracy.
Well, that's why I said only partial.
But yeah, I have to agree. That's probably, you know, the closest. That or maybe the art world, but then art is incredibly subjective too. You know, whether you be creating sculptures or paintings or books. You know, I consider books and literature a form of art. You know,
Well, but that's
if
the thing, though, is like the art world
Right.
is weirdly capricious and often just full of shit. I mean, someone duct taped a banana to a wall and it sold for millions or whatever. You know, I
Blank
mean,
canvas
I don't
sell
even know
for
what was being
thousands.
said. It's just it's fucked up. You know, I mean, like anything can be art if someone's duped into thinking it's deep.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong on that, but yeah, there really aren't any meritocracies left. And the fact of the matter is it's getting so much worse. Like right now, it is getting harder and harder for, you know, people to own homes. In fact, it started well before the pandemic, but the pandemic has ramped it up. There are large corporations that are going around and buying all of the small single family homes, basically what would be considered a starter home. It's like you get married, you get a small home, you put some work into it, maybe fix it up, sell it, and then buy a bigger home when you start having a family. Well, there are these companies, like large companies, that are buying them up, but then they're not actually selling them. They're only renting them. And they're essentially trying to create a whole cast of, you know, permanent renters. You'll never own anything. And homeownership is the number one way to grow generational wealth. One of the main reasons why people of color are so far behind white people is because they were forced out of being able to accumulate that generational wealth. Even you know, there were black people who served in World War II that they were supposed to be guaranteed, you know, GI money in order to buy houses and get, you know, housing loans, but they were screwed out of it, even though they served their countries, because of redlining and because of, you know, other, you know, racist policies and institutions. And so it was a way to kind of give a leg up to all of the lower and middle class white people while also fucking putting the boot down on people of color. And it is happening all over again, only now it's not so much a color divide, but a class divide, where if you don't already have some amount of generational wealth, like you don't have a home that, you know, you inherited from family or what have you, you're not going to be able to, you know, accumulate that wealth. Like you're not going to be able to buy a home.
Well, one thing is absolutely certain and unchanging. I have no class.
Can I just ask what was that be? What was that pink fluffy thing in front of the camera? What's going on there?
I just I was just pushing my damn cats out of the way. I was just laughing at what Kate said.
I was Googling again, so I missed it. Did somebody get the pink fluffy thing out?
Yeah,
Just asking.
I'm not sure if it was pink. It was certainly fluffy, just in front of the camera.
I always miss the good fun. This is not good.
I was gonna make
You
a comment
guys.
about mine not being fluffy, but I'll just let it slide.
No,
I'm a
Kitty.
I'm a little fluffy, but I got kind of a dad bod going on, so apparently that's a thing right now. I'm all right.
Kitty, you know what happens. Behave.
I don't wanna.
Oh,
Why
don't
would
do
anyone
that.
behave?
Mr. B, can you just please don't make her do that, please?
Yeah, doorknob head, dad bod squad. Hi, Gary. How are you, buddy?
Vegetable soup.
Good to see you, man.
I'm rocking the soccer mom fucking bod. It's not great. It's not terrible. It is what it is.
I'm not even sure what the hell kind of bod I'm rocking. It's just fairly ordinary.
Can I go out on a limb and say, Kitty, Empress of Hell, you're a very attractive woman.
Well, thank you. I look better with makeup.
She's beautiful either way. Just depends on how fancy and beautiful she is.
Well, the dad bod does seem to be in. I have heard several women remarking that that's their type now.
Hmm.
I mean,
Now,
I don't
how
get any
exactly
complaints
are
from
we
my girlfriend.
defining dad bod?
Got a little bit of a gut, maybe a little love handles.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. That's what I figured. But for a little bit, I was picturing the dad from the Goldbergs.
I think it mostly just
Yeah, but
means
not quite that
these-
big.
Yeah.
I think it mostly just means that the stomach comes out a little further than the chest does.
Yes.
You're not
Well,
fat, but you're also not ripped either. You're just kind of normal, average.
Been sort of making
but
a
not, like,
point of
big.
keeping my
Not
stomach in a
big.
place where it sticks out less than my tits. But that would be a lot easier if they were slightly bigger.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to reverse that
Slightly,
myself.
I said, slightly.
I'm trying to see if there's some way I can get that extra fat to move north.
Yeah.
Right.
I would need it to
No
move
doubt.
south out of my head, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Kate,
yeah, that's
trust
what I was
me.
thinking too,
Like
Kate.
I don't know what your cup size is, but coming from someone who's a 34F,
I do.
Yeah,
you
well,
don't.
I used the word slightly for a reason. Okay, I
I
wasn't wanting
understand.
melons, just a cute curvaceous bee.
Yeah, I understand the issues you can run into with huge ones. So yeah, a B or a C would be nice.
Like if I
I
got the
don't
money
even
for a
need a
reduction,
C.
I'd go with like a C, like a full C. I think would be good. Maybe a D, but like no bigger than that.
Well, they wouldn't go. They will not go below a C anyways because it's considered gender reassignment surgery. They won't
Huh.
pay for it unless you have special codes and shit and show that you have like gender dysphoria, and they call it transsexualism still because they're that behind
Yep.
on the times.
Mostly, I just want there to be some visible cleavage.
I told you, Perks, you can
Yeah.
have mine. I fucking hate it. No
Yeah.
desire.
Well,
yeah,
I was all
amount of
set to trade for you,
squishing
but
I
we
have
better
to do
it
to make
soon.
cleavage.
Yeah, B, if we're going to trade parts, we'd better do it soon because the part you wanted isn't working as well as it used to. The hormones are hitting that.
Oh, Perks, I love you.
Don't know, I've had visible cleavage, good ban there.
Visible cleavage.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know a few
that
people
would
with
help.
visible cleavage. Unfortunately, it's sort of behind them and lower.
I get it, Gary. He said I ordered a
Yeah.
pair of jeans online recently and foolishly used my pre-COVID waist size.
Ah, yes.
Mm.
I've actually lost weight during the pandemic.
Me too.
Well, I did too.
I've lost-
That's- For me, it's because I moved 2 weeks before the first lockdown, and it's just a lot better diet here than it was in Michigan. So even though I'm doing less, I lost weight.
Good.
For me, when I'm stressed, I can't eat a lot. Like I don't eat a lot anyway, but just like I can't eat a lot when I'm stressed out. So, I haven't been eating as much I'm pretty much back to normal now, but I lost a couple of pounds during the pandemic.
Well, for me, and I said it before earlier tonight, I think it's just the metabolism boost from the weed. For me, like I lost a crazy amount of like 20 pounds in the pandemic.
Really?
It was like 10 pounds.
You were
for me.
already thin. That's a lot.
Well, I mean, I was, but like if it wasn't concealed by clothing, you'd go, oh, I see. But that was pre-pandemic. Now
No
I'm like,
wonder.
okay, when's
Oh.
bikini weather?
Basically,
Which in
my
Southern
weight
California is coming up.
is fluctuating between like 135 and 145. So I was like 150 at the start of the pandemic, and then I dropped down a bit, and now, you know, I've got that 5 to 10 pound range. Like it's mostly between like 137 and like 143, but you know, 135 to 145, that 10
Well,
pound range is
How
where I'm
tall are you?
5'6".
Okay.
Love you, man. Peace out.
So, like, I'm not skinny, but I'm not fat either. I'm just average, you know?
Yeah. That's sort of where I am at the moment. But
What is it
I'm
again?
also
Fuck?
5'9.5", so I wear it pretty well.
Yeehaw. No.
I mean, when I was
Damn
over
it.
200 pounds, I looked like I only weighed about 160. Like, I carry weight pretty well, like, across my whole body. It's great because I don't look as fat as I am, but it also sucks because, you know, when you carry it everywhere, that means that it's not like, oh, well, I can just modify my pants or whatever so that it's just a little bigger in the waist. It's like, no, I need it in the hips and in the thighs and in the calves, and, you know, it's my whole damn body.
Mm.
Good for you, Lone. I got a cat in front of me. Move. I started at 210 and I'm down to 183, 185. Awesome. Good for you. That's great. Gary, I say lose the weight because I started going to the gym and I've gained quite a bit of muscle mass now, which is kind of easy in my family, admittedly. Like we just kind of do that. But I lost a little weight around the middle too, so my weight's the same. So I'm like sticking at 169, but I'm gaining muscle. So I'm not bitching.
That was my parking space in high school. I specifically requested it, and not because it had 69 in it, but because it was literally right next to the dean's office, the little portable like trailer that they had for the dean's office. So if anybody parked there, the dean would call and have the car towed because I was friends with him. So like if I ever got in trouble, I got sent there. Like he'd just crack open a soda from in the fridge for me, and he's just like, come help me do some paperwork for a couple of days, you know, just don't go back to that class for a few days and it'll be fine. I never actually got in trouble.
In middle school, the assistant principal, who I don't know if it worked the same way in your schools, but the assistant principal in ours was the disciplinarian, was Mr. Marabella. Very, very, very Italian gentleman. And when he found out that my dad's family is from Sicily, all of a sudden I could do no wrong. I was never in trouble in middle school because Italian, you know? So that was interesting.
Italian, I know.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, my grandmother's maiden name was Bovenzi, okay? She was half Irish, half Italian.
Okay.
My family's name, Kate, was they came over was Imbriano.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came from just outside of Rome. Eclano and Mirabella.
Well, my dad's side, one side is Teresi, and the other side is Manganello. No relation to Joe, as far as anyone can tell.
Good for that.
Why, has he turned out to be scum off camera?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Just the way you said it, I just agreed with you. I have no fucking idea.
Well, I mean, we've been trying to figure it out, but
I'm
no one
always
knows how
on
to
it.
contact him, and it's like it's not really that important. So we just figure, You know, I mean, what would it matter if it turns out he's a relative? What is he gonna like share his fortune with us? Get one of us a part in a movie? What? It's not important.
Right. No, you're right. I agree. Whew, this is some homemade fucking beef jerky I'm eating. And here in New Mexico, they really love green chilies. And it is fucking hot.
I can
Sounds
feel
good
like
though.
that. Oh,
You
Like,
what?
I can
it-
feel it from here. Like just like the way you're breathing. Like
The green chili is hot, is strong with this one.
I do
And they
like
gave me a whole
beef
bag, but I
jerky.
had got this little one. I just took some out of the big bag.
Ooh.
And the girl at work said,
Ooh.
just take the whole thing. And they're like big pieces of, I don't know, maybe it might be elk. It's elk season around here.
It's
Ooh,
funny
I
the way you
love
held
lot of
that up.
people
It
elk
looked like a
hunting. I don't know,
stash.
good.
It looked like a dime bag or something. It looked like you were showing us your weed. Yeah, you put your weed in there, man.
honestly, I'll take beef jerky. Like, my doctor won't let me use weed, so yeah,
let you use what?
I'll take beef jerky. Weed. Even though
Aw.
it's legal here medically, my doctor's office has a policy of nope, they still do drug testing. So, like, even though it helps, like, I have other medications that have me stable, so I'd rather not piss off the doctor that is keeping me stable, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
I know
It sucks,
someone who's had cat jerky. Cat jerky. So you might want to check about that. Yeah, actual cat, the animal cat. Cat jerky.
That's fucked
That's
up.
just
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
to be
ironically-
fair, pigs are just as intelligent as dogs, and we eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're tasty.
Ironically, her name is
Yeah.
Cat.
See, the main thing really is just that dogs are not herbivores. They're not even omnivores. And predators have a tendency to taste nasty.
Yep.
So if pigs would start being meat eaters, we'd probably eat them less.
If
Don't
you've got-
tell the pig population I like bacon.
Yeah.
I mean, pigs will eat people if given the chance.
Well, I bet if they do, they
turnabout's
start
fair
to taste
play.
not as good.
Yeah, pigs will also eat other pigs at times.
Touche.
Like, I personally wouldn't eat a cat or a dog, but like, I don't have any like moral hang-ups about it, because if you're gonna eat one animal for food,
Yeah. Why
you
not?
know,
Why not?
really, well,
Yeah.
it's plus I care more about people going hungry than I do about what they're eating, you know, and considering I know what it feels like to literally be starving, I like, that's something that just, if people have food, I would rather them eat, even if it's something that I, you know, find repulsive to think about eating. Like, if it's there and it can give them sustenance so they don't go hungry,
Yeah.
like, I have no moral qualms about it.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay,
back
but
in the
no one's
day
eating
during-
my
During war.
kitties. They're family.
Back
Yeah,
in the
no,
day
obviously.
during wars and stuff, a lot of the soldiers fucking killed rats because they were hungry.
Yeah.
Mm.
But they lived through
Ratatouille.
it, so
There's a whole plot line in the fourth season of Blackadder that's set during World War I, where
Yeah.
the shooting
I
of
remember.
carrier pigeons becomes illegal, and Blackadder shoots one and eats the evidence for lunch.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
Hugh Laurie playing the lieutenant. If I recall.
Yeah. Blackadder.
Well, that
goes
was my first encounter with him. So when I saw him playing House, I was like, "Holy crap, dude's got range!"
Blackadder and Jeeves and Wooster were my first encounters with Hugh Laurie, and then House. But like, I love House. He, the character is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, I just,
no muss,
you know,
no fuss, don't give a fuck. Yep.
unapologetic drug addict too. Like, I mean, just
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm
I mean,
gonna
as
live
far
my
as
life.
all right. Hot coffee does not help with that. Do not do that. Hi, April.
Alcohol doesn't help either. If you have milk or
Yeah, I do.
like
Saltines.
Oh, I have eggnog.
Saltines will
Eggnog
do
will
it
work.
too. Like if you're not married to a beverage, I'm telling you, like saltines, oyster crackers, anything with starch.
Yeah, it does help.
I was told apple juice as well. That's why I bought that this morning.
Cinnamon eggnog. So good.
You know, it's weird. Like I used to just love eggnog, and then the last couple of years, I find it like almost it makes me nauseous.
What, eggnog?
Yeah, it's weird. Like I guess it's the texture, the thickness of it that starts making me gag.
Well, you know what I do is I water it down with liquor.
Oh well,
Normally.
that'll work. Yeah,
Yeah,
I actually
pour
don't
this
have
in
any in the house.
That'll work.
in a whiskey tumbler, and then I add like a shot at least, if not 2 shots of cinnamon whiskey to it.
Well, it took
Really
me
good.
like 3-4 years to finish off that bottle of Captain Morgan I had on the top of my fridge. I just haven't been wanting the booze in the hall, so I'm probably not going to cut eggnog with any.
I don't really drink at all anymore.
You can also throw some milk in it
Oh yeah.
just to cut it down.
Nasty.
The last time I got
Bye,
anywhere
Gary.
close
Love you
to
too, buddy.
drunk was election night. Because I was scared. I
Yeah,
chugged a bottle of wine.
Catapalooza. Yeah, that's my life during that.
Don't drink
I
and vote.
just
Oh no, I'd already voted. It was the results coming in, and before they started counting the mail-in ballots, and I started getting scared.
Well, when they did the second impeachment and they crossed the threshold into impeachment, I did something kind of akin to the dance of joy from Perfect Strangers.
Cousin Larry. I loved that show. when I
Oh,
was
it's a great show. I love the theme song. It's like one of my favorite 80s theme songs. It's so like just unabashedly optimistic. I'm into that.
I'm far too jaded and cynical for that level of optimism.
Well, that's the thing is like, so am I, which is why the optimism is the antidote for me. You know,
To each their own.
yeah. I mean, I'm right, but yeah, to each their own.
Yep, that's our Kate.
I said I'm a
Oh.
horse's ass.
The fuck, Bold Hub? You got your own fucking porn going on there, buddy? What's going on? It feels good while I'm sipping it, Kitty, but as soon as it's down, it doesn't feel any better.
Milk with it. Milk with it.
Matt Pat from Film Theory, like Game Theory and Film Theory. Game Theory was his first channel, and then Film Theory. He came out a year ago with Food Theory, and one of the food theories that he did is how to cut the burn for spicy
What
food.
the fuck just happened there?
Well, you know, I hear that the like the porn hub for Star Wars fans is called Yub Hub. For the Ewoks, Yub Nub, and Yub Nub, yeah, that one, Yub Hub. You can't. You're shaking your head in disbelief, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Like,
Alright.
what the fuck?
I don't know. People are talking about like hub logo thingies like Stool's got and someone else had. We were talking about them and I don't remember. And I figured, hey, look, Yub Hub. Yeah, there we go.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
No.
Bolt,
There, dude, you're
Bolt.
psycho.
keep your hands off my hub, dude.
So speaking of hub, has anybody heard about that one lesbian porn actress who called for genocide against trans women?
No.
No, what's
Cirrus just I saw Cirrus's video on it earlier. Basically equating them to like child molesters and saying that they should get the wall, or it just went on this huge like transphobic tirade against trans women and saying that they shouldn't exist and that they're all evil.
Someone should
Wow.
introduce her to Matt Powell, who is saying that the state should be executing queer people.
yeah.
Oh dear.
I love telling this story is when I asked him to my face to tell me that I should be executed, and he refused to do it.
Yeah, okay.
He doesn't have the balls.
Yeah.
His balls are firmly implanted in Kent Hovin's mouth.
yeah.
Next
I
to the
think it might
banana.
be the other way around, actually, but sure.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Kate. Yeah.
I was trying to be balanced. I remember that conversation, Kate. That individual is a vile piece of fucking trash.
Yes.
Oh, yes,
Not
he
because-
is.
Yeah, I remember
doesn't-
watching that one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was watching it as it happened, and he's a very sick puppy, and
Mhm.
he doesn't mean,
Scout Fiction Channel, wasn't it?
yeah,
When he came
he
out
doesn't
with
mean what he's. No, I'll rephrase that. He doesn't believe what he's saying. I could tell then that he was starting on. He was going for the grift. He was trying to copy his grifting gurus such as Kent Hovind and what have you, which proved to be correct. He's saying the words that will attract a certain audience for the old.
Yeah.
But he's still a sick. Blah.
There was something I saw recently. It was really weird. He was just blathering about how, like, I forget exactly what it was. It was something like, as the heat of the earth goes up, the dinosaur population would go down, and then like he had this whole thing about why there's no dinosaurs anymore, and it has something to do with like things that fluctuated, and it was just really messed up. Like he was saying that dinosaurs were fighting in the Civil War or something. It was just, I didn't really understand what he was trying to say. I'm not even kidding. He was saying that like dinosaurs were walking the earth, like well into the current era.
Is he smoking crack?
Okay, so I pulled up
They're
the
not
article.
dinosaurs anymore.
Lesbian porn star platform by BBC calls for mass execution and lynching of trans women. Lily Cade, a transphobic lesbian porn star platform by the BBC in an infamous article last week, has called for trans women to be lynched and executed. And it was in an article the BBC posted that was headlined, "We're being pressured into sex by some trans women," basically saying lesbians are being pressured into sex by trans women.
Okay.
And
Which is bullshit. Nobody can pressure. You don't want to, just say no. The fuck?
Well,
When
Yeah.
you're not a grown ass adult, you can go walk the street, bitch about rights, but you can't say no to somebody.
Okay.
I
I did
have
hear
to
about
wonder.
that. I hadn't heard that she was a lesbian porn actress. I did
But yeah,
hear
Lily
about that.
Cade, one of the people actually interviewed by BBC journalist Caroline Lawbridge was lesbian porn star Lily Cade. Cade's entire contribution to the story was that she once declined to shoot a porn scene with a trans woman. Over the last week or so since the publication of the BBC article, Cade has begun posting extreme calls to violence against trans women on her blog, as well as sharing the same thoughts on Twitter. In more than one post, she explicitly called for execution of trans women. "If you left it up to me, I'd execute every last one of them personally," she wrote. How is that
Fucking
not
cunt.
NIFB? Like, that's the NIFB playbook right there. If I had a button that would kill every homosexual, I'd push it till my finger broke. Like, it's the same fucking thing. It's the
Mhm.
same fucking thing.
Then they talk out the other side of their mouth and say that everybody should love each other. Which one is it? Which one is it, religious people?
Well, everyone should love each other when they're normal, obviously.
They're normal.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
There's
let's be
only
clear,
one
they're
normal, obviously.
Yeah. And agree with their particular theology. Yeah.
But I mean, like, I have to wonder because all of these people are worried that they're going to be raped in bathrooms by trans women. And I have to wonder what is the actual proportion of trans women who are raping in bathrooms versus trans women who are using the toilet and getting the hell out before anyone makes a scene.
Well, the percentage of straight cis men who pull women into bathrooms to rape them is definitely much higher.
Yeah.
Well, of course it is, but I'm just like, I'm wondering, like, is there a statistic we can show to someone like her to say, look, your fears are unfounded? Sure, she'll say, oh, fuck off. But I wonder if there is something that could be waved under her nose, like in front of a camera, so that we all know what happened.
So here's things that she said. Cancel the ever-loving fuck out of this. Cancel this so hard that no man dare walk the path of the trans woman in public ever again. Enough is enough. Lynch Caitlyn. Lynch the sisters Wachowski. Lynch Laurel Hubbard. Lynch Fallon Fox. She added, they can't take down Lily Cage. She's already dead. I'm the bullet, bitch. I'm a fucking soldier. You ready? I'm ready. And then in another post, she compared the existence of trans people to the racist Great Replacement conspiracy theory. And added, if the Arabs did 3% of what the trans women have done to your people, you would bomb them into the Stone Age. I mean, like, the bigotry just keeps on coming.
Maybe a little bit harsh.
It's the delusion that's boggling me. Like, where is all of this happening? Like all of these horrible atrocities she's describing, citation needed,
Yeah.
Can I say hello to Taz and Uranus inside chat? Good to see you.
Oh, and get this. Just recently here in the United States, a teenage girl was sexually assaulted by a boy that had been harassing her in the bathroom of her school. She reported it, and the police came. They arrested the kid. The kid confessed to it, but then the school had the fucking unbridled audacity to suspend the girl for making a false allegation because their investigation didn't provide any evidence that he did it, even though he admitted to it and was arrested for it. And they forced the victim, the girl, to go to a fucking class where it says that sexual assault can be prevented. That was the title of the fucking class she had to sit in on.
So they ended up blaming her for getting sexually
What the
assaulted.
fuck? Victim
And that
blaming.
happened here
Yeah.
in the United States just a couple weeks ago.
I'd take a wager that the
North
boy
Carolina,
was
I
on one of the big sports teams.
Probably. Starts making me wonder how much nerd rape there is. Because it does always seem to be a jock, doesn't it?
Yep.
I mean, what was that one guy, Brett or Kurt? What was that guy? Like, he raped a girl behind a dumpster?
Oh, yeah, the swimmer.
Yeah.
Brock Turner.
Brock, yes, thank you, Brock. Yes, I know it was one of those like really sort of the upper middle class pansy names,
So it was in North Carolina, I believe. It was Hawthorne Academy. A girl 15 is suspended from North Carolina school after being sexually assaulted because the school did their own investigation and they said, oh, well, we don't care about the police investigation. Our investigation shows there's no evidence to back up your claims. So you're in trouble for filing a false report, even though the kid was arrested.
Mm-hmm.
This was
but
like
it
a week.
doesn't say captain of the football team or anything.
I'm pulling up more now to see. I mean, they just keep saying classmate, which is good because I mean, I don't know, I don't know. I'm trying to find where they might have more information.
Like, give a bio of the guy kind of thing. Yeah.
Because
it's a little shady if they don't include it.
But he's a minor, so part of me is he's a minor, so don't put his name out there. But then part of me is he's also a predator, so do. And I'm torn because it's that kind of gray area, for me where it's protecting the identity of a minor or outing a predator, So I don't know. Like, I have mixed feelings, but the police confirmed that a minor was charged with sexual battery as a result of the girl's complaint that she made to the police.
Can I just say, I've got to go, but thank you, B, very much for having me on. It's been brilliant.
Bye, buddy. Have a good
Thanks,
night.
everyone. Byron, Dance, and Kitty for nice to meet you, and Stool
Nice to
and
meet you.
Purple
Have
Band.
fun.
See you later.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, catch you later.
Oh no, it's like, has anyone ever been arrested for sexual USB charger? As opposed to sexual battery.
Oh,
Oh
for
my
God's
God.
sake. Oh, God.
What?
Okay. Nope. Nope. That was bad. No.
That was just, no.
Hey.
Don't you know it's a rule? I kick everybody at least once. It's
Ah.
how I show love.
And the cool people twice.
The cool people several times. Stool's
I mean,
been
come
kicked
on,
like 2 or 3
that
times.
was
5.
that was
Six.
good, damn it.
Oh,
I think you-
apparently
It's
she.
going-
Gold said,
okay.
I mean, I'm a dad and I hated that joke.
I think you need to sit on the naughty step, Kate, and think about what you just did.
When am I ever not sitting on the naughty step?
When you're ready to, acknowledge what you just did, we'll be here for you. We'll be your friend.
Oh, I
But
proudly display what I just did, clearly.
So, reading another article, apparently it's a pattern at this school because in 2019, another girl was forced to sign an NDA when she reported a sexual assault. She was forced or urged to sign an NDA that stated that she could not speak about the alleged sexual assault until she graduated. And that she signed it because she was overwhelmed and she felt pressured because she didn't know what was going to happen if she didn't sign it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't see how anyone could see that as not being coerced.
So my question is this. If you had a set of like futuristic rocket boots, how high up off the ground would you have to be able to cross in the middle of the street and it's not jaywalking?
To be fair, like there are regulations in place for how high you can go. So saying like, you'd have to find like that sweet spot where I would assume if you're just over the traffic lights that you would no longer be jaywalking because you're no longer posing a risk to others. And the whole jaywalking thing, like there was a really interesting thing that I saw about like the origin of jaywalking, and it was really fascinating. I'll have to find it again. But you can't go too high, otherwise you would be in, the restricted airspace section, especially in a lot of cities. Like they restrict the airspace.
Kitty,
over
you're
there.
putting way too much thought into this.
But you would have to be a minimum of 14 feet above the surface of the street because that's the
I
minimum
think-
clearance height for trucks.
I'm
But you
thinking
wouldn't wanna
third
go
floor.
higher.
I'm thinking third floor, okay?
I-
That's
I'm
my
thinking,
guess.
I'm thinking it would probably be something, between like 15 and 30 feet would be good.
But any higher than that, and you'd piss off ATC, like air traffic control, and like.
Yep.
I'm sticking with my answer. Around about third floor.
Yeah, well, that's why I was saying up to about 30 feet because that would be about third floor.
Well, here's another one. Can you break without entering? Like you pick someone's lock, open the door, close the door, lock the door. You never went inside. You just broke, but you never entered.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, like legally speaking, is it only ever breaking and entering? Because I've never heard someone charged with breaking and entering not coming along for the ride. I've never heard that happening.
Well, usually anyone who would do the breaking would, also intend to do the entering. Otherwise, I could just see, maybe a vandalism charge for just picking your neighbor's lock because you don't have like a legal right to, open that lock. I mean, that's one thing, like if you learn lock picking, the first thing they say is, you should not be opening locks unless you are authorized to open those locks, but it is a fun hobby to learn. Like I've just started like picking up lock picking, and it's enjoyable.
What the fuck?
I just use a paper clip, like MacGyver would.
Yeah, but see, you actually need
I know it doesn't
attention.
work. I know it doesn't work. I know it
Okay.
doesn't work. I'm kidding.
Okay.
Is it?
For those that don't, though, the MacGyver method would not work.
Spoiler.
If you actually want to get into some place, going
God,
through the door is usually the difficult way. I can usually find 5 easier ways to do it because people worry about door locks and there's a lot of other shit they don't think of.
Like Windows.
Ow. God, quit.
Most people
Well, I
don't
mean, a
lock their
brick
windows.
makes a handy master key, but I think you want to get in unnoticed.
Quit it.
A
If you're
big
good at
part of it
climbing,
is
My
second
cat.
story windows, especially.
how much noise you think you can get away with making.
Hmm.
It can be really quick if you don't have to worry about making some noise. If you have to worry
Yeah,
about doing it quietly, it takes a little longer.
Dr. Josh, my answer is bullshit. Yeah, that's all I got, buddy.
Well, and also it's very important to remember that if you're up on your tippy toes, don't actually say sneak, sneak, sneak. You can think it, but
Oh, also, always make sure you look up. It's always, like, though I've watched enough horror movies to know that I can't just look at what's around me. I need to be cognizant of what's above me too, because it's the motherfuckers that don't look up that shit fucking plops on their head and then they get dead.
Well, that's where the
Okay.
massive spiders come from.
I'm the sort where if I can't quite see what's coming up on an intersection, like whether or not it'll be safe to cross when I get to it, I'll look in the windows to look at reflections to see if cars are coming.
I also don't like sitting with my back to a door. I prefer my back to a wall.
Mm. There are some
Sitting at
people
a-
I know where I prefer their face to a wall.
Or to a curb.
No one here except Stool, but
Okay, sorry I got distracted for a second. I had to, like a poem in me, I had to write.
it's a cute cat.
Thanks. He's my big baby. He's only like 14 pounds or something.
I shouldn't be allowed to write poetry while I'm high.
He's also a very big fucking baby and needs attention. And the girl is like, bitch, don't touch me till I tell you to. So I will fucking tell you about it. And she goes off and does her own thing. And this guy's got to have total attention. So they are exactly like male and female people. Ow.
I have 4 cats, and they each have a very unique personality. Celine she wants to like snuggle all
Drummer
the time. She wants to be close to people. Leo is kind of like a dog. He'll greet you at the door. He'll follow you around the house. He likes to be pet. Orion and Luna are the more aloof ones, where they'll be off doing their own thing, but then they'll come when they want attention. And then go back to doing their own thing. But Leo and Celine will, always want attention.
Yeah.
Kind of like my son's dog. He will she will constantly jump up on me all the damn time. And she comes up, when she's on her back paw, she's up to here.
How high? Oh, shit. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
she's
this
like
little
the size of
fucker
a golden
will-
retriever.
He'll stand on top of my refrigerator, and there's I left a little gap at the top of my wall for air circulation. So he can reach from the top of this refrigerator right here to the top of that wall like nothing. He's taller than that. If he stretches all the way out, I don't even know. He's like
And
fucking-
Orion, I call him a little meerkat because he will get up like a meerkat, and he's also my window licker cat. He will just sit
I
there
don't
and
have
start
one of
licking the
those.
windows. He'll just
I don't know what the hell is up with my Xander. He will lick everything. He will lick I mentioned my toes. He also licks chair legs, and for some reason the underside of the
everything.
bathroom cabinet.
Yeah, sounds
tasting
like Orion.
everything. Yeah, now a lot of cats will go after things that might have moisture on them. That's why they lick windows. It's the
Well,
moisture
not
on the
chair
window.
legs.
He'll lick fake plants. Those don't have any moisture. They're just plastic.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah,
And
I-
for
Look
some
where you
reason,
live,
they
though.
both
Doesn't
love
everything have moisture on it?
both Columbia and Xander love licking my Krellbow.
April said it's salt. Anything salty. Yes, cats will lick anything salty. Yeah.
Well, you're right about the moisture, because if I set my water bottle on the
Ow,
floor, Petunia will lick
dude.
it to get the condensation off of
Quit.
the bottle.
Moist.
Okay. So one time Orion was
Mean.
sitting on a chair, and it was a chair that had wheels on it. And he went to jump off the chair onto the couch that was right next to it. Well, it was a wood floor. So the momentum pushed the chair back, so he didn't make it all the way, and he smashed like face first into the side of the couch. And then he like stopped and he looked at me like I meant to do that, and I got flashbacks of Eureka's castle with the fucking bat that was constantly like flying into walls. Please tell me someone here remembers Eureka's castle.
I
I
Vaguely.
remember
said-
the title name, but
I think
Oh,
it
I
was on a cable
misheard.
channel that we didn't get at the time, but I was aware it existed.
Hell yeah, Dr. Josh. I'm a Kennard motherfucker. That's right, bro. I
uh-huh.
fucking love you. You're brilliant. I hope you guys are doing well. And I hope the twins are well.
I like cheese.
I like turtles.
At Digital
Oh.
Helm Robbie, word salad generator. Oh, he can give you. See, but that's the thing. He says all that shit. It's not really word salad. It actually means something. It's just that he's up here and the rest of us are here. That's what it is.
What? I can parse
That
that
fucker's
easily.
brilliant, man. He fucking blows my mind. What's that?
I said, what? I can parse that easily.
I don't have the attention span. I can make it about
I'm
halfway
sorry, what were you
through
talking
and my
about?
eyes glaze
I
over.
love words. I love language. It's fun. Hell, I invented my own word and people are actually using it.
Nothing wrong with that. Oh, they're doing
Epistivist.
really well?
That one's mine.
Cool, buddy. I'm happy for you guys. Tell the boss I said hi. And I hope she's doing well too.
It's funny. I guess I'm stoned enough. I threw up the horns and then realized my camera's not on.
Same. Except
I think
didn't
I
do that, but
invented
I tried to wave
something-
at somebody goodbye earlier when Ollie was leaving and I didn't have my camera on.
I think I may have invented something slightly better than a word, but a phrase, would you believe? If you saw,
No. Not from you, we won't.
scientist Mel posted something on the Twitters yesterday. Well, for me yesterday. Oh no, she told me about it and said, you've been mentioned in this article. And I used the word article loosely. It's somebody's blog thingamajig from last year, and they'd used two of my tweets. They blanked my name out because, yeah. I'm gonna have to use the M word now, so I apologise in advance. But I won't say it 3 times, just once.
Magisterial?
I mentioned
M-word?
McRae.
Oh God! Somebody clip that. Take it out of the video.
Sorry, but
Oh.
they put two of my tweets in this thing where I referred to people having caught the McRae virus, and he's a McRae fan, and he did this long-winded thing about how people don't get him and all this shit. So I can't remember if I invented that or not. My memory is shit, but
I
what's the-
invented a word like back in middle school, like when I said I didn't want to sit down on a toilet seat in a public restroom because I was worried about getting herpesific gonoriades. Like it's a combination of herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and AIDS.
That's a
Wait,
cool
say it
word.
again.
Herpesific gonoriades.
That's fucking
sounds legit.
Kitty, I fucking love you. You're great. Oh, what's up to you? Yes, actually, Dr. Josh did. Dr. Josh has more than a book. He has multiple books.
I
And his
vaguely
wife has books,
remember.
and they are
vaguely
fucking both brilliant.
Wasn't there something that they did about how like the Bible doesn't actually condemn homosexuality. Like I vaguely remember something about that.
I don't
think you
know.
could be right, but I can't say definitively.
What's wrong? No catnip dying. It's not allowed.
It is way too early to be this tired.
I'm fucking exhausted.
Does everybody need to say Titan's name together so he can have the clip? Is that what you want, Titan? Doesn't count unless I say your full name. We'll do it. Everybody up for it? Count
What,
of three.
Titan, Harold, Uranus? What?
So now
You
we're
said his full name.
Terry. Harry.
Terry.
So it's 1, 2, 3. Titan
Titan
Uranus.
Uranus.
There you go.
That was lousy. We should get better timing.
That was horrible timing, but it's okay. He got everybody to say it. That's all he cares about.
Saranu Natit.
There you go. That's exactly what it is. Backwards, but just like a herd of gnats? I don't know. Well, anyways, guys, I am fucking tired, and it's getting late, and I'm ready to go to bed, so I'm going to end this shit. Everybody else here is tired, so fuck it.
Yeah.
But everybody on the panel, I appreciate you guys coming in, like, truly. And I always love the brilliant conversations and the support and love we have for each other, so thank you for that.
Well, just keep in mind you told the clocks to lie to you, so it's actually an hour later than you think it is.
I know. Fucking bastards. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for all the funny shit and laughs you guys give us every night. I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you guys being here and supporting us and showing love. And it does mean a
A
lot to
time
me.
was definitely
Even though I
had.
say it every time, it always means a lot to me. What, Kate?
I said a time was definitely had.
Time. Yes, it was a time. It was had. Everybody out there, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Have some peace in your life.